All right. The mics are hot. The stream is going. I should say the stream is live. And say hello. Welcome to Failed Portrayal. You're regularly scheduled.
We're here.
Today, currently, I'm joined by Loth.
Oh.
Yes, Loth is actually here, and Axe said he should be here, but he was going to do some cleaning up around his place first, so.
Understandable.
No, totally fair, but we're going to set it up. All right, let me make sure we're going and switch the screens, because we're actually... Sorry, once again, my brain did that thing where I Rolodex through like 4 or 5 funny things to say, and I'm just like, nah.
None of these are funny.
All of those were bad. All of those weird things were bad. Sorry. I was crossing my legs over and bonked the bottom of my mic arm. Anyway, yes. What I was going to say is that to follow up from last time, because last time we did resonators and, RDA accessories, there is actually some crossover stuff attempted in the latest sets to give you a reason to play Assault Mode in Red Dragon. So I was like, oh, well, actually,
Yes.
That's a perfect jump off into Assault Mode, because that is an archetype that is old and dog shit, but has support that came out, like, last week.
Oh. Yeah, that's right. They did come out with more support.
I mean, specifically, I think just the ones that are brand new, that are released anyway, is they just added Red Nova Dragon Assault Mode. But they did also give a Red Dragon Crimson Blader, and they had previously done a Crimson Blader Assault Mode, and also future support, because it's a promo card for one of the valuable books, which means it'll have to be tacked on somewhere in the TCG. But there's also finally a Black Rose Dragon Assault Mode they revealed too, so continues to be a thing. Now, if you don't know what the fuck an Assault Mode is, it's technically slash Assault Mode, but we don't say the slash in English, but in the OCG you do, because it's pronounced slash Buster. Surashu Busta. Because, yeah, it's slash Buster mode. I don't know what video game did it first, but I know I have enough experience with Japanese pop culture to know at some point some video game or manga used the word Buster to refer to stonk style, probably red, and thus you have, one of the 3 pillars of Quick Arts Buster.
It's gonna buster.
It is gonna buster. And so, this is a very, oddball case where, like, we really like the phrase slash Buster. Now, I'm gonna double check Buster Blader, because I think that guy's name is actually Busta Blader, but I'm not sure, so that may just be a level of convergent evolution, where we just really like the phrase Buster. Yeah, so he is Busta Blader. So that is kind of a weird, funny case where we already like the word Buster in Yu-Gi-Oh!, but we added it to a separate thing, which is completely unrelated. And of course, if you don't know, there is also the infamous Equip spell, which Upper Deck translated as Buster Rancher, but is very obviously in Japanese supposed to be Busta Launcher. That's like an old school, like, 1992 fucking translation fail. That's a transliteration error that's as old as I am, chat.
Yeah.
Guys, this art looks as old as I am too. Hold on, let me show this on screen.
The fact that they still made that.
Here's if you've never seen Buster Rancher, complete with the title, of course, because otherwise it's not funny. But yeah, this came out in, like, Pharaonic Guardian in 2003, and like I said, it's like... Upper Deck really didn't know what they were doing. They just literally translated something that was spelled BUSTAH Rancha, but it's Buster Launcher. I don't know what their problem is.
Oh man, I hope someone could fight up of that blunder.
But to actually talk a little about Assault Mode, which is our topic for today. So, Assault Mode came up in the Synchro episode. There was a, like, special episode. They released, like, a bonus episode on a DVD where Jack Atlas and Yusei actually use Assault Mode. So they're, like, technically an anime archetype, but they also are just kind of a thing that Konami decided to do to kind of, like, power up Synchro monsters. It feels kind of like an attempt for Konami to bring back the main deck boss, right? Because obviously pre-Synchro, you know, main deck bosses were the way to go. There were some fusions that were powerful, but generally, even when in fusion decks that were good, usually they were toolboxes. It was like E-Heroes, or it was like Glad Beasts who could contact fuse, shit like that. It was that, or just Cyber Dragon, you know, Power Bond Turbo bullshit.
Yep.
But Assault Mode monsters are retrains of existing Synchro monsters, but they're main deck effect monsters that you cannot normal summon or set, and can only summon or set with the card that was in my thumbnail, and I will show the art for again in a second. But with the trap card, the normal trap card, Assault Mode activate. So, they're a little tricky. However, all the Assault Modes do follow kind of a general theme. Let me see if it actually is... Okay, yes. So, with the exception of the two monsters that were already level 12, every Assault Mode has 500 more attack and defense and is 2 levels higher. So you go up 2 levels and you get a 500 attack and defense. This means since you were summoning Synchro monsters like Stardust Dragon and RDA, their Assault Modes are quite large, and usually they did actually have more powerful effects. The primary thing, interestingly enough, is that these decks were actually played back in the day. You could play them a couple of different ways. The most prominent way I've seen them is either as part of a Dragon Ruler package, because Stardust Dragon... well, basically, making 8 Synchros was super easy in Dragon Ruler, in Drooler decks, and you could still discard or banish or utilize their cards like Stardust Dragon Assault Mode, and even Assault Beast. He was an Earth, so he wasn't like light or dark. So like you could use their cards to fuel your Dragon Rulers. The other brew I've seen is that because there's another deck that, if it gets to do its combo uninterrupted, can make Stardust Dragon super easily. Dragoonity. I think I talked about this a couple weeks ago when I streamed just random stuff when Lucky was feeling ill, you know, because I made a Dragoonity deck in Master Duel. Dragoonity can make Sync 8s really easy, and that can set up for you to go into Stardust Dragon Assault Mode, because this should shock nobody, but out of the old school Assault Modes, I think Stardust Dragon has the best one. Spoilers for later. His effect is just an Omni Negate. Kind of like the big level 12 Synchros. So, good card. Very cool card. Very sick. So, very fun time for that. So, One thing I will say that I like about Assault Mode is it's from the art here is from a genre, which is Yu-Gi-Oh! Trap card that has generic Yu-Gist on it.
Yeah, this guy has appeared in Assault Mode related cards, and I think other cards as well.
Yeah, this guy... Let me see if the trivia page in the wiki says anything about it.
Also,
this duelist
I love
also appears in Assault Mode 0. He does have the 5Ds era dual disc. Good.
Okay, I'm sorry, I was waiting for you to finish. What the fuck are these random items being summoned towards him? A complimentary flail and dagger?
Yeah, so that's the other funny thing about Assault Mode is, like, he's activating and he's like, oh, yes, this is the equipment that will make my monster Assault Mode. Genji gloves, Genji helm, Genji chest, knife and flail for some reason. Like, yeah, no, I don't get it either.
Wait, not gloves, singular. There's one glove.
Actually, you're right. Yes, that's right. It's one Genji glove. One Genji glove. Pants and boots not found. So I'm just imagining I'm imagining this guy just with, like, this chest piece, helmet, and one singular glove. I guess it's his raised hand right there, because his left has the disc on it, so it's his right hand with the thumb. And then he's just got, like, the knife and the flail, and he's just like, whatever works. But yeah, I love this style of art.
It's like I can't remember his name, but he's like a failed version of that honor deck guy from the filler.
Oh yeah, I don't remember his name either. Might have been the guy who starts. No, was it the guy whose name starts with a V? Valen.
Valen sounds close. Hold on.
Something like that. Yeah. Also, by the way, Konami, print those cards. Yu-Gi-Oh cards can do anything. You print the. It is Valen. Okay. I was like, I started to say I don't remember him, and I'm like, I start with a V. Then you just you make some vowel sounds and it works out. Anyway, the effect of Assault Mode Activate is super simple, so I'll say it. Assault Mode Activate is a normal trap that says tribute a synchro monster, special summon an Assault Mode monster whose name includes the tributed monster's name from your deck in attack position. Now, chat, you will notice some flaws here. 1, normal trap. So you got to set it and you got to wait a whole turn. You have to do your entire combo, and then you can only Assault Mode Activate on your opponent's turn. Normally. There is actually a way to get around this in the old school deck, but we'll get there. And then it only summons from deck, much like the original Metal Morph rulings. So this can cause some problems. There are a couple of ways, though, to get around this, which we'll talk about in a second. But honestly, Assault Mode Activate, still played.
Yeah,
yes,
sorry, just saying that in chat.
Yes.
Did you put your name in the Goblet of Fire? He said calmly.
You put your name in the Goblet of Fire. No, classic joke. Yes. Also, no, I was referencing, obviously, the Final Fantasy Genji armor set, but that, yeah, it also works out. We have fun here, chat. But yeah, so Assault Mode Activate is still played to this day. You'll find it funny. This deck still revolves around the old school Activate, because it is actually, like, kind of playable with the effects. They did try to fix it later by making a quick play spell that activates from hand. That's not for 10 years.
Yeah, they just kind of rolled this out and then went, that was a fun idea. They just moved right along.
Yeah, I mean, I won't say they moved right along, because, like, this was a pretty big rollout. We're actually going to do something different than we usually do. Normally, when talking about Assault with an archetype, we start at the monsters. But actually, I want to talk about the spell traps first, because I want to let you guys see how much juice they put into this deck to make it a thing, and still didn't give it enough gas to be used for much, like, there's not enough stuff in this archetype in like 2008 or 2009 when it came out for you to actually make a whole deck that revolves around it. Partially because the synchro monsters they picked for Assault Mode are kind of at random. Like, they did have RDA, they did have Stardust Dragon in there. That's good. And then they have shit like Colossal Fighter, who, yeah, he was a starter deck guy, so he's in everything. So that's okay. And then, like, Doomkaiser Dragon, Hyper Psychic Blaster.
What was his name? Arcana Magician or whatever the
yes,
fuck
Arcanite Magician, that's another one, who, by the way, is a synchro monster that can only use spellcasters as material. So, like...
I remember there being some weird tech about him and Assault Mode Stardust as well.
Oh, there probably is. There are a few different interesting cards, but speaking of them, you'll get to see a few of them in previews. This is Doomkaiser Dragon Assault Mode in this image. But first, Assault Counter. And you may be thinking to yourself when I describe this card, oh, isn't this card from, like, you know, only 5 years ago? No, no, no. This card was in 2009 in the original wave. This is about a 15-year-old card. This is Assault Counter, or just BUSTAH Counter in the OCG. Hey, guess what? This is a counter trap card that says, when a spell trap card or monster effect is activated while you control an Assault Mode monster, negate and destroy. So, even in 09, they had the archetypal counter trap card. Now, again, you don't actually play this because you can just make Omni Negates anyway. But, yeah, they had a counter trap.
I can't get over the fucking, like, energy balls in his hands and from his mouth to make the shield.
Yeah, no, it's a little funny. Because he's, like, you can see he's, like, bouncing back like a stream of, like, lightning or piss or something. Electric piss. But, yeah, he's making a shield with both hands and his top mouth, because it's Doomkaiser Dragon. He has a skeleton face in the middle of his chest. Again, we'll see more on that later. But, yeah, so, this deck had an archetypal counter trap card, which is, pretty alright. It's not really searchable, but, you know, you play enough spell traps, you'll find them. Had a Cloud Flare error there for a second.
Oh, no.
Let's hope the wiki catches up. They still haven't quite fixed all their hosting issues. But if you're wondering at home, our next card will be Assault Overload.
Overloado.
Which, of course, would be, you know, BUSTAH Overload!
Okay, stream, come on, catch up. I need to see this.
Oh, yeah, I didn't have it yet. I've got it now.
Okay.
It was slow loading. Actually, no, it's not Buster Overload. It was BUSTAH Bust!
What the fuck?
So, you would think this is Arcanite Magician becoming Buster mode. Becoming /Buster. But no, this is Arcanite Magician blowing the fuck up, because here's what Assault Overload does. This is a quick play spell that just says, tribute an Assault Mode monster, each player takes damage equal to its level times 200. So, like, usually you're around level 10, so that would be, you know, basically 2k each. So it's just a crappy Ring of Destruction. Awful card. No use at all. And the art is just so confusing. And also, Arcanite Magician has terrible pants.
This wasn't that meme saying of, my goal is to blow up and act like I don't know nobody.
Yes, my goal is to blow up and then act like I don't know nobody.
It makes Arcanite Magician look so fucking stupid. Like, yeah, it's not even true. A cool Kamen Rider Kabuto, like, cast off kind of thing. It's just, he's gonna blow himself up.
I'm gonna blow up.
I'm pretty sure Omega does not know anything about Kamen Rider, but is aware of the fucking cast-off stuff.
Yeah, I know. I know a little bit about kind of the... I was going to say the tropes. The tropes is true, but, you know, the conventions. And I've seen a few transformation sequences in my time, but yeah, that's just a weird one. This next art is, like, just super simple. We'll give you a little preview of what Assault Mode Stardust looks like. This card is Assault Revival. This is another one that's, like, a cool concept, but is, like, also really bad.
Yeah, best version of the GIF I could find. I mean, okay, blown up, Assault Mode Stardust looks like they gave him armor, and he still looks very alien-y.
Yeah.
Like, alien
I think his head
archetype
shape's a little
alien-y.
different, but yeah, he's a little weird, but armored. So what Assault Revival does, this is a quick play spell card. Also, by the way, the Japanese name of this is so... I don't know if it was intentional, but honestly, now that you brought it up, I think this archetype is very tokusatsu, just in terms of like all the names. The Japanese name of this card is BUSTAH. But this is a quick play spell that says, go ahead, Loth.
Look at this card art and tell me if someone told you this was a shark monster, that you would believe it.
Wing shark, space shark. Honestly, some of the sharks are really fucked up. That's another episode we should probably do sometime, just because there's a shitload of sharks and they're just all like... Some of them are just like, yep, shark, and others are just like, where did this alien come from? Anyway, so, Assault Revival. Remove from play. By the way, no PCST. This card was printed once and has never been printed again. That's how terrible it is. Remove from play one Assault Mode Activate from your graveyard. Destroy all monsters you control, and special summon an Assault Mode monster from your graveyard, ignoring its summoning condition. Its effects are negated, and it can't be tributed. If it's removed from the field, remove it from play. So, to PCST that for you, you have to banish an Assault Mode Activate to activate this card. You have to blow up your own board. Though, obviously, it doesn't say if you do. It's an and, so they happen simultaneously. You can special summon an Assault Mode from your graveyard, which does ignore its summoning conditions, so that does mean that you don't need to worry about tributing a monster, obviously, or using Assault Mode Activate. And also, I do believe will revive them even if they weren't properly summoned, because it says ignoring summoning conditions. But it's negated, you can't tribute it, and if it leaves the field, it's banished. This is an awful effect. The only reason why you would play an Assault Mode monster is for its effects to be better than the synchro you're sacking. Like, again, using it to kind of like cheat out if you have one in graveyard might be useful, but you have to go such minus to get this to pull this off.
I forget, was Assault Mode cards used in the anime?
I did mention this earlier, but to recap for people, not explicitly, but Konami did produce a like DVD extra episode, like a bonus episode, where Yusei and Jack Atlas used Assault Modes. It's explicitly noted on the wiki as non-canon, so it wasn't like produced as part of the normal season, but it was a like bonus episode on DVD that came with like promo sets, you know.
So an OVA.
Yeah, basically.
The reason I asked is because this sounds like the kind of weirdo niche card that would be like, this is what he used to win the duel that one time.
Well, the appearances tab on the wiki is blue, so it probably was in that special episode. Let me click. Let me see. But yeah, no, Assault Revival, again, it's very funny how this deck fucking is, like, Assault Mode Activate is okay. It's a normal trap, but it does let you summon a guy from deck, like, so you don't need to worry about having it searched in hand, you know? Assault Counter is literally an archetype Omni-Negate. Like, those were good back in the day. We've looked then at Assault Overload, which is just a dumb burn spell for at most, like, 2k, and it's double-sided. And then Assault Revival is like, okay, I get what you're going for, but it's bad. It's way too much like... It really should have just been banish an Assault Mode, activate from your graveyard, special summon an Assault Mode monster from your graveyard, ignoring its summoning conditions. That probably would have been shitty enough.
Yeah. Like a weird type of Monster Reborn specifically for Assault Modes.
Yeah. I mean, like, it is a quick play, so if your opponent blows up your board anyway, like, if they, like, Black Rose you or something and reset to 0, you could still use it and get a guy out. Like, that can be helpful, but there are other cards you can play at different eras. Like, I'd have to check the history, but it's entirely possible that, like, Call of the Haunted was still legal at 1 at this time. You know, shit like that. So, there's chances, you know, that there were, you know, cards you could play that were better than that.
I just realized one of the downsides to having moved to my new computer is I forgot to save or transfer over all my images. So I don't have that lovingly stupid picture of, what's it? Oh, fuck, I forgot her name, but the girl from 5D summoning Black Rose Dragon, and then it just goes, time to blow up, and then it just starts like a Voltorb, just glows.
Nice. Alright, this card kind of shows off what RDA Assault Mode looks like. This is Assault Slash, aka BUSTAH Slash!
Sorry if I'm in a bit of a mood. I haven't slept and I had one coffee.
Oh, yeah, right. I was going to joke about that earlier, but we got off actually talking about the thing we're doing. Yeah, Loth is here with me, but he's under great duress because he ordered breakfast like a fucking hour ago and it still hasn't arrived.
Oh, don't worry. Now it's saying it's heading to me. The app says he's still away, so it's been an hour and a half since I ordered.
That's hope right, it's we not were cold. Almost... Well, I'm pretty sure based on what you were saying, the guy hadn't fucking parked to pick up your food until like a half hour ago, so yeah, but, yeah, so Loth's on a little bit of a journey here. Anyway, Assault Slash... yeah. Assaulty Slashy is a normal trap that says, activate only when you control an Assault Mode monster, destroy all face-up monsters on the field. So basically, it's a dark hole kind of effect, but only if you control an Assault Mode. You know, right now we haven't seen any searching for this deck, but that's not a terrible effect, especially because, obviously, some of your Assault Mode monsters are going to be protected from destruction, or otherwise be protectable. So, like, this as kind of a like, last-minute trick to just be like, okay, blowing up the board. That's alright. Especially as I noted, because Black Rose Assault Mode is a card that came out, like, this year in Japan. It's not even out in English in other territories yet. So, like, not a terrible card. You do have to worry about minusing yourself a little, but it can still be very good. And then to round out the first spell traps. Go ahead.
So, because I'm assuming we will see his card art
we'll
for Assault Mode. But this guy just looks like the blueprints for what we saw last time of that latest Red Dragon.
Yeah.
The one that was, like, later. Like, you can see the blueprints.
Now, that kind of makes sense, because, you know, he's doing the thing. But here is a card that made this deck basically worth playing back in the day. Like, people actually attempted. This is Assault Teleport. So you can see the vague after image here of, I think that's Hyper Psychic Blaster Assault Mode. But because he's psychic, he's teleporting.
He's teleporting.
Yeah, his dick's teleporting.
That's a very unfortunate placement.
Yeah, I don't think they were thinking too hard about that. Now, the funny thing is that after that, there was that, like, wave of extra psychic support. I should check if that's in Master Duel, actually. They did, like, a bunch of retrains of the early 5Ds era psychic cards and stuff that gave them, like, more synergy. You can search cards that have, like, spell cards that have teleport in their name. So, like, you may have a route to use, like, an assault mode package with the Psy deck, because one of the extra bits of support they did later is Psy Reflector, who is a insane card. Like, even for 2019, he's fucking nutso bananas, as we might say. So, like, I think there's room for that version of the assault mode deck, where you play, like, generic Psychic Synchro, and you use, you know, assault mode as kind of the spice there. But Assault Teleport is a normal spell that just says, return one Assault Mode monster from your hand to the deck, draw 2. So, hey, remember how I said that Assault Mode Activate only summons from deck? Yeah, so this was the strategy. You would just play 3 Assault Teleport and like, play, like, 3 Stardust Assault Mode and just be like, well, I have a Stardust Assault Mode, I have an Assault Teleport, so I'm just gonna get rid of my brick and draw 2 cards. I'm just gonna debrick myself real quick.
I'll be right back.
All right, he's gonna be right back. It's for his food. But yeah, so as I was saying, chat, Assault Teleport is like the card that made this work as an engine because it was a pot of greed. Like, the cost was you got to shuffle back a guy you didn't even want in your hand anyway. So, to draw 2. And that made that work. So, again, let us recap before we move on to the actual monsters, where I will do a side-by-side between their normal art and their assault mode art. But let's review the 6 spell traps you got in this deck. You have, obviously, the basic assault mode activate, tribute to synchro, summon from deck. Counter is a counter trap. Overload, you know, an Omni Negate counter. Overload is do burn damage. Revival is revive a guy, but you have to blow up your whole board and banish an assault mode activate, and it's negated, and it's banished, etc. Assault Slash, if you control an assault mode, blow up the whole board. Assault Teleport, shuffle back an assault mode to draw 2. So, like, some of these, crazy good. Some of these, bad. No good, very bad, not great at all. So, yeah, you can see why some people really wanted to make this engine work, and then why it didn't. But while Loth is on his way back, we are going to start setting up the side-by-sides. All right. Yeah, he assault teleported out of the conversation. All right, so we'll do... I guess we'll do before and after. So left-hand side... Oh, that's a little large. Let's make that... Actually, let me wait to make that smaller until I know what I'm comparing it to. So we go before. And after. Before and after. And thus, that's our 2. So, regular Arcanite Magician is on the left. Arcanite Magician Assault Mode is on the right.
I don't like either of these.
No, I'm not huge fans of either. If I had to pick, I would say I prefer the normal Arcanite Magician, just because most of him is covered up by a robe, which hides all of his Konami orbs.
Yes.
Honestly,
Wait. It's a someone he just unbuckled the belt?
Yeah, kinda. Like, he just takes the
cape.
robe off. It becomes a cape, basically. Like, technically, I think there are some extra details. Like, he's got some more segments in his weird arm guards. But otherwise, I think Arcanite Magician Assault Mode is just like, you know, a head taller and maybe his armor's slightly bigger. Like, it's all basically the same design, just uncovered.
Okay. So, had to taste of my chips. It's cold.
Damn.
I can't get mad at the driver, though, because as soon as the car opened and I saw him walk out, it was an elderly gentleman. I'm like, ah, fuck.
He's just trying to make a quick buck.
Yeah, apparently he did another order before mine, and that first order was at a different place and they took forever, so that's why it took so long. So, did not give a bad review. Anyway, enough about me and how bad this is. We need to talk about this motherfucker right here and his horrible fashion sense.
Yeah, no, this guy sucks. Like, normal Arcanite Magician is okay. I'm pretty sure we've talked about him before when we talked about spell counters. Hey, spoilers, he's a spell counter card. And I probably showed Arcanite Magician Assault Mode just to be like, hey, look at this fucking freako. My thoughts are not different.
If you... What's the right word for it? Lessened all the curvature and stuff he has on his armor? Maybe?
This is 2009 peak. Arcanite Magician is wearing a WoW armor set. Dallas isn't here, but I have to say it. He's wearing a WoW armor set. His... I can't even call them gauntlets because they're like bracers. They're, you know, arm guards are huge. His shoulders are huge. His hat is huge and stupid because he's got like Viking horns on top of the Dark Magician curve hat. He's got a floating like armored skirt that like isn't attached to anything. It just rests on his hips. And you just know this guy's got big stupid boots down there too.
And similar to, you know, Dark Magician, he is a stick.
He's a noodle man.
You could snap him in half by breathing in his direction.
He's a noodle man. He's got a weird striped suit under there. Just not a big fan. Love the background though. Also not a big, like, it's still early in this phase, but Assault Mode, it has the Konami orbiting. Such orb. But, just to recap you, Vanilla Arcanite Magician is a light spellcaster synchro who's level 7. He's only got 400 attack and 1800 defense. He does require you to use a tuner and then a non-tuner spellcaster, so, like, that's a very non-generic card to include in this setup. Arcanite Magician, when he synchro summon, gets 2 spell counters and gains 1000 attack for each, and then you can remove a spell counter to target and destroy a card your opponent controls. So, what does Arcanite Magician Assault Mode get? Well, he's a level 9 spellcaster, light, with 900 attack and 2300 defense. Cannot be normal summoned or set. Can't be special summoned except with Assault Mode activate. When he's special summoned, put 2 spell counters on him. He gains 1000 for each. You can remove remove 2 spell counters from this card to destroy all cards your opponent controls. When this card on the field is destroyed, special summon an Arcanite Magician from your graveyard. Now, in concept... also, actually, by the way, I should say that. I'm pretty sure all the Assault Modes do have that last bit of text. If they're destroyed while they're on your field, they summon back the original guy. So, that does kind of, like, give you incentive to play something like Buster Slash, you know, like Assault Slash. You know, you blow up your whole board, your Assault Mode just reborns the guy you just blew up. Or reborns the synchro version of that guy, you know? So, that has uses. I think this is a good power-up to Arcanite Magician. You know, when he's summoned, he adds 2 spell counters. You may have already used your spell counters on regular Arcanite Magician, so he might be a little weenie. So that resets him to 29, which is okay. That's a decent stat line for a level 9. And also, you can remove 2 spell counters to just destroy everything your opponent controls. That's all right, but you have to remember that Arcanite Magician is archetype locked to spellcasters. So, like, you would have to put in your spellcaster deck, probably in your,
Endymion?
Yeah, in your spell counter Endymion deck. You'd have to put in an assault mode package to just make a guy who blows up the board, and I'm pretty sure there are spell counter guys that do that already. Like, it's not really worth it.
Hello there, Axe.
Okay, X is here now. He's here. I'm looking for it. There's also a fusion version of Arcanite Magician. That's
that would have.
Right, Supreme Arcanite Magician. There he is. He came out a little bit later, but like that's like literally a much better version of this card in more ways than one. So let me grab that guy.
What's a spell card that would normally use to summon him, like Dragon's Mirror or Fusion Mirror or whatever?
You could use Magicalized Fusion, but also you could use, what is it, Synchroharmonic Fusion? There's that special fusion card that only works if you're using Synchro Monsters as material, and you have to for Supreme Arcanite. So there's a special way to summon him. Yes, one of his materials is a Spellcaster type Synchro. Which I think at the time he came out was only Arcanite Magician, but...
Sorry to again be that guy talking about, oh, woe is lost. I just noticed my chip little pouch had only half the amount of chips. So truly...
Yes, thank you, Marth. Harmonic Synchro Fusion. Also, yeah, no, so you just got boned today.
Yep.
But for comparison to Assault Mode, here's what... And I apologize if some of these are big or mismatched. I cannot help it. The Yugipedia is, like, dying, so I can't get all my images from the same source.
Oh my god.
And if somebody would be like, oh, well, why don't you have all the images prepared beforehand? And you know how many fucking Yu-Gi-Oh cards there are? There's over 10,000 of these things. If I had to do that every week, that would be so many files I'd have to download and then get rid of because I'm not made of infinite PNG space. Honestly, it would be better if, like, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Database had the full versions of these cards' art, but unfortunately, the actual official Yu-Gi-Oh! Online database has the curse of sample. They don't want to give you high-res versions of card art for some reason. But yeah, you were going to say about this guy, Loth.
He looks like they just gave him ruin colors, or basically just went, this is mind-broken Arcanite Magician from the way he looks. And they made him curvier! The armor, not the person!
Oh yeah, you can't see the person inside. But yeah, I mean, I do think, while it is bigger and dumber, I think that I like this armor design a little better than Assault Mode because it's less, like, layered. There's not so many, like, weird inset segments. But yeah, no, he's not that much better. But that guy is a level 10 light spellcaster with 1400 attack and 2800 defense, and he does require one spellcaster type Synchro and one spellcaster type monster. Can only be special summoned by fusion summon from the extra deck. When he's fusion summoned, he gets 2 spell counters to get 1000 attack for each, so he is 34. And then also, you can remove a spell counter on your field to do one of the following effects: either destroy a card or target or draw one card. So they don't even have to be on him. So again, do not even bother playing Assault Mode Arcanite. Literally, if you're playing a spellcaster deck where you want to synchro into Arcanite, play Harmonic Synchro Fusion and make this guy instead.
Alright, I finally got my headset working. Sorry, that took like forever.
It happens.
And like when I got to it, everybody was like super fucking loud.
I probably had your... Or, not you specifically, but something probably had your audio settings all fucked up.
I was gonna say, like, I want to come in suddenly and be like, I don't think he's that bad. I kind of like him. It's like, you know, it's fine. It's silly, but I like it.
I mean, you can like it. Like I said, I think the normal assault mode is just a WoW set. Like, there are people who like that art style, but it's very exaggerated.
Nice any WoW set I know.
I think the main problem is just that he's, you know, Buster mode, and it's just like he just took his cloak off. Which also, by the way, that fucking cloak was like vacuum packed to him.
I will say the other art on the left is like, it's like as if the metal was like, the fabric just turned to metal, honestly, the way it's like shaped.
Yeah, some of it is a little like that.
But like, God, he's like thin as hell.
Yes. So I boosted Axe up a little on my end because you do sound a little.
I will get closer. I'd like under my desk because I had to like reconnect my headset. So like, I'll get closer to it. I'm only like a foot away from it.
I mean, you sound pretty good for a foot away, but it is noticeable. I'll adjust it as needed.
How about now?
There you go. That's more full and normal.
I'm like 7 inches away from now.
That's still, considering I am sub-inches away from my microphone, that's pretty good. Yeah, I don't actually think you're supposed to be far away from microphones. Well, actually, it depends on the mic. There are mics that are designed to like a boom mic and stuff are designed to pick up from quite a far away.
I'm used to microphones where you should be only a foot away from it. Fine.
But like broadcasting mics are usually like a little closer. Anyway, we're working on the next guy, which is I want to grab alphabetically. It'll be Colossal Fighter.
A good card.
And again, yes, Colossal Fighter is a good card, but also keep in mind we're like you're so far we've got an Arcanite Magician, a type locked guy, and now Colossal Fighter, who is not type locked, I don't believe, but is like based around warriors. And then, you know, we have, as we say, we do before and after. We have normal guy, and then assault mode.
Oh, right, I forgot his assault mode. They gave him, like... What's the right way to put it? Like, fuckboy, energy, like, armor things.
I mean, he's wearing an armored thong now.
They gave him a battleizer, a la like Super Sentai.
They did, but it's not a great one. Just because some of the design elements I'm not a huge fan of, which mainly the G-string, with the Konami orb in the belt buckle. That's a little weird.
I mean,
like,
it's technically not. It's just over him, so it's more just like. It's like a fucking. It's just with this weird. It's like a fucking gyro harness.
It's still a cod piece. It's not connected to anything, so it looks like he's wearing booty shorts.
Okay,
like,
but it's like the harness you wear in like freefall shit.
No, it's not though, because it don't look like that. It's free floating. Like, and his weird tummy is out. Like it's. They've given him this extra armor, which appears to clothing, and then they covered him up, but they covered him up in a... Sorry, I have no other way to say this. But they covered him up in a slutty way. Like, he has so much midriff out. Technically, I think his front armor has, like, a keyhole in the front so that you can still see his, like, chest Konami orbs. It's just really, like, weird.
It's weird because, honestly, the way it looks like more of, they took off most of the armor the guy, like, Colossal Fighter hadn't left, and they replaced it with this, like, fucking sky, like, jetpack armor.
Yeah,
because
like,
you can see, like, he's less bulky, where they're like, but there's still a guy underneath.
I was gonna bring that up earlier. Yeah, he's like less bulked out. He's lost some muscle mass, which I assume is just like.
But they put the spawn in his head, which is like insane.
He's Colossal Fighter's a weird guy because, like, he clearly the normal version looks like he's a robot, but, like, they're both warriors. So, like, he is,
it's
a
a robot
power
guy.
armor. You know?
Technically, I guess if it was Rush, he'd be a cyborg.
Probably. But, yeah, like, so we did some weird stuff with him. I think you are, like, ultimately correct. This is kind of like the Battleizer Sky Armor form kind of a thing. Parts
Like,
of it are still really weird. Like, I didn't think of him as, like, bald. I thought of him as having a helmet. But when they put a helmet on his helmet, it makes him look like he's bald under there. It's a weird case where, like, when you see him unarmored, or rather not extra armored, you're like, yeah, that guy's covered in armor. He's not naked. And then you see him with armor on his armor, and it's like, wait a minute. Is he naked under that blue stuff? Is that how that works for Colossal Fighter?
I don't think so, because
you
like,
can
I think
see
he just,
kind of the... If you look inside the gauntlets that exposed, you can see that it's got,
Because,
like, a
like-
socket for his arm.
because he's an action figure.
I mean, that's actually also true. Like, I don't think this
Like,
guy
he's
was ever
built
supposed
like
to
an
be
action
realistic.
figure.
He is just a toy, yeah.
He's
He is toyetic.
built like an action figure. He's built like a video game character.
Honestly, he sounds a lot... When I didn't realize Colossal Fighter's Japanese name, he sounds a lot more like a toy in Japanese. He is a Gigantic Fighter.
Okay, yeah, that is like a kind of that's like a generic fighting game toy.
Like, I can picture the commercial in my head. Gigantic Fighter! Now with Slash Buster armor, he flies! And you press a little button on the back and he'd make, like, terrible MIDI crunched jet engine noises.
No, there's like a button in the back that makes him do the cast off, so you put the new armor on.
Yeah, anyway, not to clown at him too hard, because like I said,
I think he's still cool. I think the armor right is fucking silly because you see how like they had a design aesthetic idea, but it's like I feel like they went too far.
Honestly, I think we're gonna think that about a lot of assault modes. I get the idea, but like many of the monsters they're based on were not designed to have extra armor bolted to them. Arcanite Magician is kind of an exception.
Because like assault mode's supposed to be like a super mode. This is more like a side mode. The way it like is designed visually.
Yeah, no. So like it's odd. It's not actually terrible. Like I said, I do think that like I get what they were going for, but I feel like they still made it goofy by not having it all joined up on his like, you know, Mega Man underoos he's got on. Let me tell you, listen, as a long-standing Mega Man fan, jokes have been made about Mega Man Classic and the coloration of his sprites because he's wearing, you know, he's got his robot tighty whities on the outside. But, you know, it is a retro style of look. It's just very funny that like his armor is very generic. Honestly, even a little silly in places. Again, the hat thing is also, I'm just like, okay. Not really sure about the design sense there. I guess he's got, like, giant headphones on now? But, like, he's doing, like, such a try-hard, like, cool guy pose. Like, he is doing the, you know, next you, I'm calling my shot pose kind of a thing. And it's like, you're trying so hard, man. That's right, yes, sorry, I just double-checked, chat. It had a statement a while ago, but like it looks like he's in an inflatable suit. Yes, the original Colossal Fighter looks like one of those like toy Hulk gloves or Hulk chests you'd buy as a kid for like a Halloween costume. Which is probably why when he takes it off, you can put on a different set of armor. Anyway, the original Colossal Fighter is a crazy good card. It's a level 8 Dark Warrior Synchro. He's completely generic. 2,800 attack, 1,000 defense. Gains 100 attack for each warrior monster in the graveyards. And obviously, when you were playing early Synchro era decks, you were kind of taking whatever, so like there's a decent chance you'd see some warrior stuff. When this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, target a warrior monster in either graveyard, special summon it. This is not once per turn. And Colossal Fighter is a warrior. So, if you didn't know how this works, This guy can infinitely recur himself so long as when he is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you have another warrior in your graveyard, so you technically have a different target when the effect is triggered. And I think you might actually be able to, depending on the exact nature of the rulings, you might also be able to just target himself with no other cards in graveyard. But, yeah, he's a crazy hard guy to get rid of. And a very good card. So Assault Mode, when he's special summoned, lets you Foolish Burial 2 warriors from your graveyard. And all monsters your opponent controls lose 1 attack for each warrior type monster in your graveyard. And then when this card is destroyed, you can special summon Colossal Fighter. So Colossal Fighter Assault Mode is arguably a huge downgrade. Yes, he does make your opponent take the modulation, which, based on his summoning, is at least minus 300. And he is 3,300 attack, I should say that. He's level 10 and 3,315 because he's 500 higher. So, like, he is pretty big already. And he makes your opponent monsters lose at least 300. And presumably you're playing a warrior deck if you've got him. So you might have more. You know, you had to synchro summon Colossal Fighter in the first place. So, you know, you might have as much as, like, 5 or 6. And he does recur, because if he's destroyed at all, he floats into regular Colossal Fighter, who can then, you know, float into, you know, other ways. Colossal Fighter, by the way, can't float into Colossal Fighter Assault Mode. Assault Mode says can only be special summoned with Assault Mode activate, so you need to have a ignore summon conditions type effect. But yeah, like, he's kind of a downgrade. Or even, like X said earlier, a side grade. You know, it's not a 1-to-1 improvement, but it could be more useful if you were trying to build a Warrior Synchro deck, but also Warrior Synchro decks are out there. Okay, so it's about the rulings at the time. All right. So you may or may not be able to have him just recur himself infinitely on Battle Destruction anyway. But yeah, Colossal Fighter, cool guy. But again, so the original guy is so good that, you know, he's in a weird one. Now, continuing our weird theme of just, like, picking the weirdest guys. So, Arcanite Magician, right, requires a Spellcaster non-tuner. Our next Synchro monster that is used for an Assault Mode is Doomkaiser Dragon. Doomkaiser Dragon's one of those guys you could only special summon by using Plague Spreader Zombie as a tuner. And then, briefly, the monsters that counted as Plague Spreader when Plague Spreader was banned for being too good. So, you know, we're doing very oddball stuff. Now, I'm going to post Doomkaiser Assault Mode on screen. I'll let Stream Chat cycle through that. I'm going to run away real quick. So I will leave X to comment on what he thinks about these two guys together. And
where'd
hopefully
Loth go?
Loth will pop back. Yeah, I better say, Loth stepped away for a second. So hopefully he will come back in. If not, you don't have to say anything, X. You can just chill until Loth gets back and have them listen to the music. I will be right back.
I'm just like getting stuck in the weird situation where it's just like it does kind of look like a downgrade, honestly, because it's like it adds, like, I guess, some chitin over it. It's just like the it's like a second phase of, like, the final boss in some kind of game, and the final boss is just like is actually the attachment thing, but it's not as cool. It's just like this weird, like, skull chitin thing over the Doomkaiser Dragon. It's just like it more feels like a Union monster card, and I guess all the ghosts are now also, like, attacking you instead of just kind of being in the air behind it. So it's just like, I don't know what they were going for here. Like, it's not bad. It's not badly drawn or anything. I just think it's just kind of like very. I just think it doesn't. It's just like I don't know what it's going for. I don't know if you heard any of that, Omega.
Yeah, I did. I had my headset on, so and I was able to follow along because I can picture Doom Kaiser Dragon in my mind. And yes, I mostly agree. I think you said it best by just saying I don't know what they were going for. Like the original Doom Kaiser Dragon's a weird one. You know, he's already weird.
It looks cool
he's like
though.
Yeah, he does.
But
look
it's
cool.
like a dragon made out of weird the magical Resident Evil viruses.
Yeah, like he is a zombie. You know, he's based on Plague Spreader zombie, so he's looks like several dragon corpses stacked together. You know,
it's like I guess you take a
like
demon pillar, which,
2008,
as
so
people don't know, are made literally out of like immortal corpses turned to a pillar, which I think gave me nightmares for a few days.
When did normal Doom Kaiser come out? I was gonna say it was 09, but it might have been even earlier than that. Okay, it was 08. Was the original Doom Kaiser. So like,
because you could see like see
predating some Dark Souls
base.
ideas, I think, but definitely like I think the idea of corpses of dragons stacked together is a thing that like Dark Souls would love.
But like they've never done that kind of thing before. They don't really do that kind of thing. Like I guess I'm gonna say this is like I can't point at you, but like you see the thing, just like you see where Doom Kaiser's head and left is. See, look to the left of that where there's like basically like a weird dragon torso at the bottom of the base of like the actual like torso part of the Doom Kaiser.
Yeah, no, that's what I was saying about them kind of looking like corpse. Like he's got a normal torso with wings, and then below that he's got a sub torso, which is sticking out of the front of another torso because he's got 4 wings back there. Like
honestly,
he's really weird.
I'm kind of with like Darkstar, the chat where it's like I think it'd be cooler if it was more of like we owned the thing on the right and it took off the skull thing to be assault mode.
I could see that, but unfortunately, we talked about this with Colossal Fighter, and we see it again here with Doom Kaiser. The idea somebody seems to have been going for with Assault mode is like
super battle armor,
armored mode, and so what Doom Kaiser does is, and you said it kind of like adds like a kite and skull, and it's like yeah, it does add a skull made out of armor, but also it is just a skull, like. It has extra lights in the eye sockets, and it has arms coming out of the side of it.
Also, it also has like it also has like a lock around the base of the tail of like the tail part there too at the bottom.
Yeah, it like adds like some neck bones to hold.
It has like it has. I think it's also more of like it's like a toy thing where you have to clip it on. It's like click in, so like.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. Actually, that is probably it. It's like that is part of the clip that holds the skull body on. Is you clip it down there, and it happens to look kind of like a.
You also clip it. Also clip it over the wings, but that makes it actually secure.
The wing thing is also another thing that's weird because like I understand the idea of like, you know, talking about it right, like making these jokes about them looking toy-like. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if that's how somebody was told because again, these assault modes were done like a year or two later than some of these synchros. I wouldn't be surprised if that's what they told the artist to do, right? Like, to be like, oh, imagine, like, you know, an upgrade in, like a tokusatsu show or something, or, like, a toy upgrade pack, like that. So, like, that makes sense that it looks like that, but also the design for, like, the extra armor on the wings is so weird, because, like, you can see little bits here, and actually... I can't remember if you guys can see my cursor or not, but I highlight it as well, so you can see like the shoulder bits.
They can see the. I mean, they can see the cursor now. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you can see like this area, right? So he's got like little nubs for like where the extra bone is going to cover the bones because he's got bones on his bones. But it doesn't go all the way up.
It covers the muscle tissue and then clips onto like the wings to like not, and like the sides aren't as curved, but that's just because of the angle. But again, Yu-Gi-Oh cards can't do depth and angles that the greatest.
I mean, I'm looking at it. It looks like the way this is drawn, the bits on his wings don't actually hook up with the bits on his arms. I can see where they're supposed to, but the artist has drawn clear lines here that it stops.
It's the toy. Again, so it's like the toy thing where it's a cover on top of it, where it's just like.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean, right? Like it is just like a toy cover, which works for a toy, but for a guy who's completely hand drawn, it's like. That just makes you go, Why does he have little joint nubs? And also, why? Like, I don't get the part that, like, I don't hate it, but it's also, again, just another question of I don't know what the fuck we were doing. Why does he have full-ass skeleton arms? Like, why did they give him hands attached to his second skull face? Why did we do that?
I don't know what
That's
to tell
so
you.
weird. I know you don't know what to tell me. That's what you were saying earlier when it was just you in here. It was like, yeah, I don't know what we were going for, and I am like, I agree. I do not know what the goal is here.
Like, it's the thing of, like, I could see this as, like, a fucking, like, not Ikaruga, but, like, a fucking... Okay. I know there's probably like this, but there's probably, like, some old, like, fucking Ace Combat, Project Wingman, Star Fox style games, but fantasy, where this thing on the left is like a boss, and the right thing is like the secret, is like on the right would then be like the true final boss. For it's more, but it looks worse.
I mean, there's a handful of like top-down and side shooters that would be more fantastical.
You know, I think I'm playing Ace Combat as in like you're on I guess almost like a rail shooter, but like you're in a ship. So I guess more Star Fox, but fantasy.
Those also, I'm sure, probably exist. I mean, you know,
but like
Dragon
that's the
Guard
vibe he gives
exists,
me
but
at least from like
yeah.
the posing of the right.
No, yes. So, the original Doom Kaiser is like okay,
Cool,
but
dude.
it's not the best. Like in terms
It's
of
an necrotic
card
dragon.
design. Well, no, I mean like his effect, his actual use in the card
Oh,
game.
okay.
Doom Kaiser is like okay, but he's not the best monster you can make with Plague Spreader. It's a level 6 fire zombie with 2400 attack, 1500 defense. It has to be zombie monsters all around. It's Plague Spreader plus non-tuner zombies. When it's special summoned, though, you can target a zombie in your opponent's graveyard, special summon in attack position. But when Doom Kaiser leaves the field, it's destroyed. Obviously, you're supposed to use this with Zombie World, kind of a thing. So, like, that's okay, but there are better targets to combo with Plague Spreader. Doom Kaiser Assault Mode is a level 8 fire zombie with 2900 attack and 2000 defense. When this card is special summon any number of zombie-type monsters from either player's graveyard to your sides of the field, but their effects are negated and they're destroyed during the end phase this turn. When this card on the field is destroyed, you can special summon Doom Kaiser. So, technically a better effect. Obviously, you are probably playing a zombie deck if you are making regular Doom Kaiser Dragon and then being able to summon his Assault Mode. So, like, this just basically turns Assault Mode Activate into Soul Charge. Problem, Assault Mode activates a normal trap, so you want to use this on your turn to OTK, but that means you have to have your normal-ass Doom Kaiser Dragon just sitting, or you have to wait to summon Doom Kaiser until, like, turn 3 or something. So, it's not really a good fit for the rest of the Assault Mode archetype. It's probably an okay zombie card, it's just setting it up is, like, really tricky. I like the idea of expanding its, effect to summon more and then, like, go from there. But it's just doesn't have synergy with the way, like, Assault Mode is supposed to work. So it's a very oddball one. Next, we're going to talk about another classic boy. He was mentioned in Assault Teleport. But, again, I kind of think that Konami was picking, like major, not archetypes, but types that had synchro decks built around them to kind of pick from this. So, you had a Spellcaster, a Warrior, a Zombo, and now you've got a Psychic. On the left, the original Hyper Psychic Blaster. And then, coming up on the right, Hyper Psychic Blaster Assault Mode. Now, I think this is one of the rare cases where we can say that this is actually kind of an upgrade that looks like the original guy, but with more. But it's not just a silly clip-on. Like, technically, I think you could still make this make sense as a toy if, like, the back harness that Hyper Psychic Blaster has, like his chest, neck, and back piece, like, just comes off. unclips and detaches, and then you can put this whole thing over him. But it looks a lot more integrated into his design. The part of him that's like unnecessarily extra is he has like 5 extra cables to his psychic blasters. But that's not really that bad.
Yeah, I just
like I could critique some
Well,
things, but I think they're
I don't
think
hate
they're both good.
I don't hate it, but it does just look like, because I know like technically they make like there is another retrain of the guy too when we ever do like I guess advanced psychic, basically if we ever do psychics 3030 basically psychics colon 302, because it's not psychics 101 or psychics 201, it's 302.
Yeah, they did a funny thing. Actually, no.
But like this thing just looks like, because like his back thing is open, so like that's always what it always feels like. This was always part of the design too, to be like, because it just looks like he has like the his helmet just actually has the barrier on, so it just looks like more of like this is just what he does in like a space in like vacuum mode.
Yeah,
So
you're right. I was looking at it. Like there are some add-ons, like he has shoulder plates in the assault mode, and he does have like extra armor on his.
Like his
like,
extra battery packs put on
his legs, but like this could just be his backpack thing, like opens up and connects, and it, like you said, it forms a bubble over his head, and it also fills in these sections in his chest are like filled in now. So like yeah, it's a pretty natural evolution.
It might just be like it might be like a 0G, because it feels like instead of basically like this one is on land and one is in like on on Earth and one's 0G. Like
and
the one on the right
let
is
us
like
compare
0G
with
mode.
because we'll look at him. We don't need to talk about what he does, because there's actually like several versions of Psychic Blaster. There's even
this is like an evolution. This is like an iteration upon that.
Yeah, this is Psychic Blaster Mark II. This is the retrain from a couple of years ago. And
it is literally Mark II. It is like the iteration of the design.
And I like that it incorporates elements of his normal and his assault mode design, but also just streamline some things. Like he has only one blaster.
It is Mark II.
It's bigger, and it actually has like a front grip. Like they did
and like a giant battery pack.
To make it new. So that's good. But no, this is the case where like both of these guys are pretty all right. It's just
it's what they are. It's just like it's a psychic super soldier.
Yeah. Honestly, it would be a little tricky to organize, but that should be one to run back someday, would be to actually talk about the kind of history of the psychic guys. Because they did, get a whole retrain, like, and they technically gave them an archetype to build around, which is the teleport cards, which is, I did mention, Assault Teleport would be searchable by this, so, like, I think the reason why Psychic Blaster Mark II looks a little bit like his Assault mode is that I think the idea is that Konami was thinking you might play his normal Assault mode in the deck. Like, you could set that up, because you can still play Assault Teleport and get to draw 2 and shit like that. So there's room for it, but it's still a little odd. So the original Hyper Psychic Blaster, or his OCG name, Hyper Psycho Gunner. Which I'm gonna be real. That means that Assault Mode's name is Hyper Psycho Gunner / BUSTAH. Like that's
funny.
That's just the mid-season upgrade. But Hyper Psychic Blaster is a level 9.
I really don't have much to say about that one. Really, it's just like
yeah, just words. But out of the guys we've seen, he's one of the biggest. He's a level 9 Psychic Synchro, like I said, with 3k attack and 2500 defense. So Blue Eye stats, even if he is a level 9 Synchro. He does require a tuner and then one or more non-tuner Psychics. But if he attacks defense, he does piercing at the end of the damage step. You also gain... It's a little weirdly worded. I feel like they probably could have... Actually... Original Hyper Psychic Blaster hasn't been printed in a while, so they might not have just wanted to clean up his text, but... The way this effect is phrased is a little weird, but basically, if he attacks a defense position monster... and its defense was lower than your attack, gain LP equal to the surplus, like equal to the difference. So Psychic Blaster does piercing damage, and you gain LP based on basically the same as the damage you would have done. And if the monster is not on the field at the end of the damage step for any reason, you use its original defense as moniker. So, a little tricky to make back in the day. Making 9s could be tough, but it was very doable, obviously, because of the original Trishula. Though you are locked to Psychics. So, Buster mode, Cyber Psychic Blaster Assault mode, is a level 11 Earth Psychic with 3,500 attack and 3k defense. Can be normal summoner set, etc. If this card battles a monster at the end of the damage step, inflict damage to your opponent equal to that monster's defense and gain life points equal to its attack. When it is destroyed, special summon a Hyper Psychic Blaster from your graveyard. So, it basically just makes Hyper Psychic Blaster's effect, but more so. Now it's not just when he attacks a defense position monster, just if he attacks, your opponent gets burned for their defense and you gain life points equal to its attack. And on a 3,500 guy, that's a pretty decent effect. That's obviously like a little slow for this day and age, and is not as... It's funny because he is a level 11 Earth Psychic. That's the same stat line as Psychic and Punisher. So, like, these two kind of guys, I think, represent two very different ways to run a Psychic deck. If you're playing Pep, you want your life points to be as low as possible because that makes Pep fucking huge and also makes him, completely unaffected.
Okay,
Whereas...
I apologize.
Good.
Oh, sorry. I was muted for the longest time because I just said, fuck it, I'm going to try to get a refund.
Okay. You decided to fight the good fight for your food.
Yeah, so I had to... The app itself doesn't have an easy contact line. I had to go through several hoops just to contact someone. And best thing that happened, they sent me an email, like, here's your automatic confirmation email for your receipt or your refund. It's a blank email with just the DoorDash logo.
That's very funny, but I guess we'll hope it worked.
I was laughing with the support guy. I was like, this is very threatening. What is this?
Yeah, hopefully they didn't something about it. But yeah, so here's we've been talking about Hyper Psychic Blaster Assault mode. And I was just describing how he's kind of like a reverse Psychic and Punisher because they're both level 11 Psychics. Hyper Psychic Blaster Assault mode burns your opponent for damage equal to the monster that he attacks defense, and you gain life points equal to its attack. So, like, you can gain a lot of attack, and you can do a lot of damage as defense, and you may already be doing damage because you're attacking with Hyper Psychic Blaster. So, it's not a terrible one. I definitely think most modern decks would probably prefer to self-burn and then just, like, play Psychic and Punisher. But it's not a terrible card. And if you did actually play him in the Psychic Teleport deck, because like I said, you can search spells that have teleport in their name, teleport spell cards in that deck. There's something there. That might actually work out.
Oh, I'm trying to parse out some of the extra weird bits and pieces. That's just from the, I can only assume, Assault Mode armor add-ons.
Yeah.
They gave him fucked up boots, too.
Yeah, he does have little bubble boots. And I can't... You can't see in the original image how his shoes look. But otherwise, he's, like,
also,
pretty
I apologize to make it for reference. I have taken a screenshot and put it in our chat. You can see...
Yeah, I saw that. I saw it. I see him in the corner. He's threatening.
Like, what is this?
All right. So our next guy is going to look very familiar if you were here last week.
No.
Because, as I said, in the original wave, because they were the stars of that little bonus episode, they tacked onto the DVD set, there is an Assault Mode version of Red Dragon Archfiend and Stardust Dragon. So here is before. This is regular RDA. You saw this guy a lot last week in a few different card arts. And then you kind of got to look at him with Slash, but you couldn't get the whole picture because there was a cool effect. Here is Red Dragon Archfiend Assault Mode. This is, again, very much... Like, RDA does have a little bit of armor on him already, but Assault Mode is definitely way more armor, and also I didn't think about it, but I guess when we talked about Doomkaiser Dragon earlier, giving them a weird chest face is part of it.
Yeah, I was about to say, just meh.
Because he has a weird chest face.
It's like a fucking Gurren Lagann type face.
Yeah, kind of. Like I like it a little better than Doomkaiser's just a skull, but it is a little extra silly. But then he's got like big shoulders. He's got arm guards that are like spiked with claws, even though he already has claws. Like honestly, I don't hate Assault Mode RDA. It's just I look at him and I go, he doesn't really need it. Like he has extra unnecessary spikes and claws, and it's like he's already a big buff dragon.
He's got like armor wing things coming off as well.
Yes, he has very Japanese like blade wings, but also still has his wings. Though it does kind of look like they have some armor plates on the back of them too now. You just can't see his backside.
I will say that the view of his face in Assault Mode is a lot better than the view of his face in his normal card art. I don't hate it.
No, like I said,
my eyes.
Go ahead.
Sorry, my eyes are drawn to the face. Not his face. It's the other face.
It's one of those character design things where like that's. Well, actually, I could say this is the right crew to bring that up. Loth at least knows for sure. If you don't know, there is an artist on the internet. Actually, shit. Is the YouTube channel just also still Kinky Nation?
I believe
Kinky Nation, yeah. Yeah, she's all this stuff, yeah.
But
I watch her stuff.
I just so happened to catch like I didn't they hadn't been fed to me by algorithm until they were fed to me all at once. But I basically binge watched all of her Uma Musume review videos.
Oh,
because she's been doing streams and looking at them, so like all of them got thrown in front of me. She is a character artist, who's done some things, and this is a thing you do see a lot in like a lot of modern gacha designs of like weird asymmetry and line breaking. A lot of it kind of feels like just like telling the artists to kind of like break the rules so that the modelers can do crazier shit, and that's like the design idea. But there is a lot to be said about kind of the way a character's silhouette looks, and that like for a normal consumer saying that like, oh, it tires out your eye, you'll get exhausted following the lines. Not literally, but it can get kind of messy and hard to follow, and gets harder to model if characters have lots of little bits with different colors and lines and stuff. The way that RDA Assault Mode is presented, and the way that his armor is added, the chest piece face is dead center of frame, and like all of the lines go back to it. So your eye can't help but be drawn to the fact that he has a face down there, and it's got teeth. Like, it's just the way this art is presented. And they probably could have done it in a different way, but then they couldn't fit all of him in frame like that, so like he's just stuck this way.
And as someone in chat points out, he's wearing armor on top of his weird armor already.
Yes, he does actually have a little bit of armory boy. He has some shoulder panels and stuff. That's another thing that's just I guess how Buster Mode works. I'm pretty sure we mentioned what he did offhanded, even though we weren't doing all the RDAs last time, but we mentioned what he did. But if you don't know, Red Dragon Archfiend is a Dark Dragon Synchro 8 with 3k attack and 2k defense. He is completely generic, 1 tuner, 1 non-tuners. After damage calc, if it attacks a defense position monster, destroy all defense position monsters your opponent controls. And then during your end phase once per turn, destroy all other monsters you control that didn't declare an attack this turn. That's still an effect, by the way, that goes off to this day. If you are on Master Duel playing against me in RDA, stop summoning this guy in end phase. His effect will trigger.
They click.
But yeah, so that's what the original RDA does. Now, what Assault Mode does is he is a big Bungulis. That means he's, 35-25. He's a level 10 Dark Dragon now. And his effect is super simple. After damage calc, if this card attacked, destroy all other monsters on the field. When this card's on the field is destroyed, target an RDA in your graveyard, special summon it. That's it. He's just a dark hole, like, every single time he attacks. That means, obviously, it's hard for you to build your board, unless your monsters are protected from destruction. But does mean that you do get to just attack, you know, one guy, punch over, blow up the whole board. It does make OTKs tougher, but, you know, you can do some stuff. And he is no matter what 35, so. Alright. Axe, any thoughts on Red Dragon Assault mode?
I like extra armor, honestly. Like
I said, I don't think it's bad.
Like, it's on top of the scaling, but it's like, it's already kind of going with, like, what there is, because it's like, Richard Archfiend's already kind of going for, like, the armored dragon vibe, but it's also, like, the demon thing of, like, it probably is, like, going to be biomechanical, because that's a Makai thing. That's, like, a classic Japanese Makai thing.
Honestly, also, since they are supposed to be, you know, protagonist ace and then rival monster, because we were about to pull up Stardust Dragon and Stardust Dragon Assault mode, Stardust Dragon is also one of those guys who's, like, weirdly biomech, you know, alien-y. You know, he's got Akira Toriyama. Both of them actually have Akira Toriyama lines. So they're meant to contrast each other. Right down to their color schemes, obviously, since I'm now showing Stardust Dragon regular right after we were looking at RDA. RDA is, you know, mostly dark reds with some blacks and a few light accent colors, whereas Stardust Dragon is, you know, mostly white with some kind of bluish-green accent colors, and then has some purples on him, you know, as his, like, dark accent to offset his light colors. And then Stardust Dragon Assault mode, who I believe suffers from probably the most unfortunate pose of the Assault modes. The artist really wanted you to know he gave him armored kicks, so his pose is awful.
Check out my Tims.
Yeah, like, regular Stardust Dragon is kind of weird because, like, I feel like Axe and I have talked about this, you know, in recent episodes and even earlier in this episode. The perspective is a little weird because it's hard, like, I think, you know, one side of him is closer than the others, which is why, like, his hands can seem a little big. But also, Stardust Dragon is actually, like, that gangly, like, he does have really skinny limbs and then really big hands and feet. Assault mode is really, like, he's reaching out of the card at you, and then he's got his grippers out, but also his face is in front of his knee, chat. Do you know how high he has to be kicking to pull that off? God, does he have any bones in his neck?
Again, Stardust Dragon always gives me the vibe of this is an alien card, just in disguise.
Also, I'm so glad I didn't catch that while we had RDA up. I saw the chat message about him having skulls on his knees just as I tabbed back over to see how people are reacting to Stardust. Yeah, no. So, like, the actual, like, assault mode parts of Stardust,
like,
Yes?
I think it works.
yeah, no. Sorry, I was looking at Discord. Like, it's not actually awful. Like, the original Stardust doesn't have, like, those armored bits. Like, really, like, he kind of does, but they can look like just part of his body with, like, his knees.
Like, the torso is very different.
Yeah, like, he actually has an armor plate, you know, over his torso, and he's got armor over his arms and legs. Like, that's not terrible. And it's not like RDA's armor, where, like, he has extra spikes on it, you know? It does. Red Dragon Archfiend Assault mode kind of looked like he was wearing dragon-themed armor as a dragon, you know?
Yeah.
Or maybe
and this one more feels
demon-themed
like
armor as a dragon. This is just actual armor plates.
It's like armor plates, but, like, it's almost like, I think, like, like solar, like fucking space wind themed, because it's like the way it just like almost looks like metal leaf, like layers of like metal leaves kind of thing, and like the chest plate and like it's all sharp edges.
And obviously, both of them have pretty good backgrounds, but
Because look at the chest plate. I don't understand how like that. How you do that plating about it just like opening up or like falling, like just not holding in place.
Well, gravity. Like it's over his neck, so he puts his head through the holes and he slots it into his shoulders. It's all held together at the bottom. It's all one piece there. It's just layered,
Okay.
like a flower.
It just works.
And like the rest of his armor, like his arms and leg bits, are not actually like that. Now, you might ask that question about the extra armor on his wings. That I can't answer because we can't see all of them. He just has extra wing blades. But like, yeah, it's well put together. Both of them have like that super cool background effect. So I think they're doing pretty good. I probably don't need to tell you what the fuck Stardust Dragon normal mode does, but I will anyway. He is a level 8 Wind Dragon Synchro, 2500 attack, 2k defense, completely generic again. And the original Stardust Dragon says, when a card or effect is activated that would destroy a card on the field, quick effect, tribute this card, negate the activation. If you do, destroy it. During the end phase, if this effect was activated this turn and wasn't negated, you can special summon this card from your graveyard. So Stardust Dragon negates a destruction effect once, and then comes back in the end phase. Stardust Dragon Assault Mode then says, obviously, he's all the usual Assault Mode stuff, I should say. He's now a level 10 Wind Dragon and is 3k 25. This is why you could play him in stuff like Dragoonity and Dragon Rulers. But he just says when a card effect is activated, quick effect, you can tribute this card, negate that effect. If you negate the activation, it is important to know that actually does matter for some stuff. If you do, destroy it. Once per turn during the end phase, if this effect is activated this turn, you can special summon this card from your graveyard. When this card on the field is destroyed, target a Stardust Dragon in your graveyard, special summon it. So this is why Stardust Dragon Assault Mode was always the favorite of the old schools. Obviously, RDA is pretty big, and he's a board wipe. Hyper Psychic is not a terrible card. You just have to be playing Psychics to get him out. Colossal Fighter is like a completely different side grade. Stardust Dragon Assault Mode is just a straight-up upgrade. Like, even RDA, I feel like, is kind of a side grade because they basically combined his effect where he destroys your opponent's monsters and then his demerit where he destroys yours monsters into just one effect where he blows up the whole board. Stardust turns stop one destruction effect once per turn too. Yeah, once per turn, just tribute this card, negate anything, and then it comes back in the end phase. Plus, you're already playing with Assault Counter. You can be playing, I should say, an Archetype Omni Negate. So, like, you got good stuff. You got stuff on stuff. And also, it does also kind of negate one of Stardust's main weaknesses, which is, as a protagonist ace monster, he was, 25-20. Assault mode is, 3k 25, same stats as a Blue Eyes, so it's harder to just, run the fuck over, especially because it will be replaced by a Stardust Dragon. So that is the wave of the original guys. But they did actually have some support monsters. Like I said, they gave them a few guys in the main deck to play with them as kind of a package, which will help form an engine later. I am pretty sure we have looked at this guy earlier because when we did do Spellcasters, I did bring up all the Arcanite guys, but this guy only does stuff for Assault mode, so he's not really relevant to spell counters. This is Arcane Apprentice. He doesn't have Assault in his name.
He doesn't, but with that stupid-ass arm in the background, gee, I wonder what he's associated with.
Yeah, I know. It's a guy who's supposed to be associated with Arcanite Magician. His name in Japanese is Arcane Philo. Philo is in the Greek word meaning, like love or friendship. So this guy is not Arcane Apprentice. He is Arcane Friend. But no, this card all around is just super weird. So this is a Fire Spellcaster Tuner, level 2, 1,000 attack, 400 defense. If this card's sent to the graveyard as synchro material, add an assault mode activate from your deck to your hand. So, if you're actually playing assault mode, pretty good card. This guarantees you add activate when you're synchro summoning. Doesn't actually help you make Arcanite, because Arcanite doesn't require a spellcaster tuner, it requires a spellcaster non-tuner. But he is a low-level spellcaster, so it's like pretty easy to set up in terms of using that to search assault mode activate if you were running an assault mode engine. I find this card art very funny because, like, this guy's just rocking his Black Mage fit, you know? Like, he's just an evil wizard Jawa, which I do love. But just, like, he's protecting the sacred Arcanite Magician armor, which is also the assault mode armor in the back there. And earlier, Axe, I think you said that it looked like some of his armor looked like it was just, like, cloth made rigid. This, I think, continues that, because notice how part of it goes, like, over the lip of that, plinth or position it's standing on. Like, it goes around the corner there. That's a 90-degree angle.
Yeah, it does feel like it's just cloth.
No, it's weird. Do
Like
not play
metallic
Arcane
cloth.
Apprentice. Honestly, you know, if you're doing Magic, you could do that. You could make.
I mean, honestly, Omega, I feel like this is the guy. If you ever do fucking Shadow Wizard money game, you should take this guy as a Shadow Wizard guy. Like this fucking
honestly,
dude.
yeah, that would be a great reference art for it. Like, he is just one of the Shadow Wizard money gang in 2009, by the way. So it's very weird.
Okay, well, this is technically this is the Shadow Archmage money guy.
The Arcane Wizard money gang. But I will say this: you don't need to play this guy. Like, for 2009, his effect is very good. He's a tuner that, when synchroed, searches assault mode activate. That's great. He doesn't have a lot of synergy with the other assault modes. Here's a card that, if you've ever heard of the assault mode engine.
Okay, I'm sorry to tangent, Omega.
Okay.
Assault Beast, literally one of the best assault cards, because the assault engine is actually pretty good, surprisingly.
Yes,
but
like.
But I have to tangent. But like, seriously, man, you should just take fucking Arcanite Wizard and like Arcanite assault mode as like a dude for Shadow Wizard buddy game. It's like the guy in fucking magical cosplay armor.
Honestly, yeah. I think about that. We've had jokes about, you know, arcane Jays and like shit like that. I should keep the armor in mind as like that would actually be a like modern urban fantasy thing. Some nerd would be like, oh yeah, no, I've used my spellcrafting arts to create a really cool magical armor set that I can summon magically. It looks like I'm wearing cosplay though, because he, you know, probably used it off of, you know, some cardboard or some foam factor, maybe some 3D printed shit, and then was like, I made it magical.
Like it like weighs as fabric, but it's like good as metal, and it's like, and everyone just fucking laughs. It's fucking silly looking.
But yes,
and then those people get disintegrated.
Yes, true, probably. Power word kill. Combine
power word crease.
There's not a specific magical verb for crease, but there probably is something you could make. Anyway,
I mean, it's modern magecraft.
Speaking of guys who are, or rather not silly, Assault Beast, aka Buster Beast, is just like
Assault Beast sounds cooler.
No, the alliteration is funny, but it makes them a little non-serious, which is the thing I was going to say, which is like, no, this guy's very serious. Like, even over, like, Arcane Apprentice, Assault Beast is, like, a full-blown guy. The main problem I have with this guy is that, like, other than that, Assault Beast looks like a Yu-Gi-Oh card played by the generic Assault Mode Activate man. He even has the flail.
I think the flail
This
sucks.
guy has, like, no... I mean, I think the flail's a little goofy, but it is pictured on the Assault Mode Activate card.
No, I know. I just think most flails are terrible.
People probably, like... A flail is one of those things that, like, you look at and go, okay, I understand what
this is
about,
actually used in a war.
Actually. Like, it's... I believe... I'm pretty sure they were. It's just they're used in very specific circumstances. Like it's the chain weight is so that you can generate extra centripetal force. Like you generate extra swing so you can hit armored guys. But there are also other ways to do that. Anyway, Assault Beast is like, I don't want to say generic because like he's pretty cool. Like he has some unique design. He's got an eye patch. He's got a horn helmet.
He makes me think
he's
of
got
like
one braid.
he makes me like. I don't think of him as like he's not a gladiator beast to me. He's more of like because gladiator beast is more of like actually like gladiators that are doing like fucking wrestling combos and shit. To me, this is like the fucking like head like the master of an arena of like some kind of fantasy anime kind of thing where it's just like he's like the champion beast like that runs the arena but also is like the final boss.
He's kind of like a prototype to the Fur Hires, which are the Skyfang Brigade. I'll remind you in Japanese. But he's a little more serious than those guys are. Like the For Hire's art design feels like they're like almost like a Grand Blue Fantasy or like another like early phone game kind of a thing. Like they have a very cutesy art style with them all being basically furries. This guy is like not cutesy. He's very serious. He definitely has done steroids. Look at his veins.
He's like a beast man.
Yeah.
Which is like
I just say one name to describe what I think about this guy?
Yeah.
Bao the Whale.
She would go feral for this kind of guy, yeah.
Is he kind of he's kind of a wolf man. I in my mind I can't decide whether
she was
he's
also
wolf
crazy
or
for the
lion.
she was also crazy for the horse guy and like Black Myth.
That's true.
So like I honestly
We don't judge, we just shame horribly.
We
joke.
Lost James horribly. I say that because my next joke was to be a blacklist. Clip this and send this to Bao.
honestly like I had a thing I lost it because Loth interrupted my train of thought.
I do that.
Sorry, it happens. I'll say
It's
what
never
this
happened
guy
before
does.
for me.
This
With
guy
Lothric.
is another case where like I don't know why the card art goes so hard, but I'm glad it does because unlike Arcana Apprentice, Assault Beast is like mission critical to this deck to this day and is all around an amazingly designed card. Assault Beast is a level 4 Earth Beast Warrior. Go Axe?
I got it back.
All right, you found it.
It's to me, he's not a furry character. He's just like a fucking. He reminds me of like if like the Warhammer Fantasy Beastmen were actually fucking cool. If they actually were cool.
Yeah, he is like I said. I think he has like a cool guy design. And like again, it's very funny that like this guy's from like 2009, and it's like Loth made that joke, and now that I'm looking at him, kind of like. Yeah, I mean, he does kind of have the same design language.
But he's from 2009. I thought he was way. He was really good. I thought he was like way later.
No. That's what I was saying, Axe. Like this card is mission critical. This guy's
I guess
from
it's
the
because
original
there
wave
wasn't
of
anything. I guess
2009
because there wasn't.
Screaming
I guess there wasn't anything to really search with him. Is the thing. Yeah.
Well, I mean, he just spoilers. He just searches Assault Mode Activate. Like that's all he does.
Yes.
But like, that is still mission critical. Like that's still useful to this day. He mentions Assault Mode Activate in his text, so that's important. But like. This card was designed so well for 2009. It's so freaky. So like I said, he's a level 4 Earth Beast Warrior. 1900 attack, so he's already got a great stat line for an effect monster. But also, you can discard this card to the graveyard, add one Assault Mode Activate from your deck to your hand. So remember how Arcane Apprentice adds Assault Mode Activate when you use it as synchro material? Yeah, what if you just had, the equivalent of Harpy Queen for this deck? Oh yeah, I just discard this guy and I add Assault Mode Activate. And then he's in your graveyard, so you can summon him back and use him as synchro material because he's a 4. Like, again, crazy good design, insane design. And again, I am pretty sure you still play this guy in this deck to this day.
Yeah. Still relevant.
Yes, Chad, actually, you did... I think there are shoulder pauldrons that are round like that. It does kind of look like he has shield strapped in there. I do kind of think the idea is that he's a little hodgepodge. Like, some of his armor is a little mismatched, and that's supposed to because clearly he's been through a lot of stuff and probably had to replace pieces of his armor. Like, look at his gauntlet arm that you can see. That looks kind of almost like it's carved out of, like, bone or something, as opposed to, like, the way the rest of his set works. Like, he has a few different design elements. But no, he looks pretty cool, and he is pretty important to the deck, and like I said, I'm pretty sure he's still playable to this day because he just searches your card and goes to graveyard. Like, it's that easy. Now a design that is like... Actually, I'm gonna leave Assault Beast on screen because I need you to see for comparison. So, also from the original 2009 wave of support, Assault Mercenary, who I can only describe as the Temu version of Assault Beast. We have Assault Beast at home. What happened to my Assault Beast in shipping monster?
Oh my god.
Again, same year, same core set, same archetype. What the fuck happened?
This looks like a mix between Assault Beast and Gene Warped Warwolf.
He really is Gene Warped for... Well, he's also... You want to know how I know he's Gene Warped? Assault Mercenary is a warrior, not a beast warrior.
I mean, this is just... What does Assault Warrior do?
Sorry,
Die.
Because he has, like... I'm trying to remember the guy... He has a Liefeld. Why is it a fucking Liefeld gun?
Yeah, no. It's so odd.
Because, like, it's like a gun that looks like it... The way the thing thing shoots out is curved. It looks like it shoots out like a fucking... Like, it shoots out like a beam.
A straight laser beam, yeah?
It doesn't look like it's straight, but it looks like it curves like directly left and like to the left. So like you'd put it to you'd angle it downward and then basically use it to like clean a floor. Remember like the floor cleaners that like fucking knock us out?
Yeah, no. It does look like he's new Power Wash Simulator DLC. Like I'll say this: there are parts of this design I don't hate. Like from the waist down, he's perfectly normal. He's wearing like pants with armor plates. He's got pouches. It's the up part that's like, what the fuck is going on? He's got, like, robot armor hands. His weird, like, scale head blends into his arms. And he's got, like, little weird ears that look like horns.
It looks like you'd fight, not with the gun, but, like, it feels like
all fucked up.
It just feels like you'd fight, like, hundreds of these dudes as, like, fucking, like, imperfect mutant warriors made by some kind of, like, futuristic alien society that, like, make clones
you're correct.
Of their
yeah,
warriors.
These guys are just, like, weird, degenerate clone enemies you fight a gajillion of, and they have that weird blaster.
Oh, fuck, I forgot what I was going to say. Damn it.
Sorry.
No, I'm saying damn it at me for forgetting, not at you, Axe. Don't worry.
Maybe we'll come back.
So I'll say to continue real quick because chat also said I should just grab Gene Warp Werewolf and pull them up. Let me do that. But first, let me say what Assault Mercenary does because he's kind of bad. He is an Earth Warrior level 4 with 1800 attack, which is okay. But his effect is just once per turn. You can return an Assault Mode activate from your hand or graveyard to the deck to destroy a spell trap your opponent controls. The graveyard effect is better because it does give you a way to recycle your Assault Modes you've already used. And a spell trap pop is not terrible, but the idea that you would, like, shuffle an Assault Mode activate back from your hand to pop an opponent's spell trap is kind of bad. So he's, like, only okay some of the time. But let me grab Gene Warped Werewolf for comparison.
Yep, I hope my hunch is spot on and they look kind of similar.
Well, Loth, yeah, you should say this.
Oh my god, it is! This fucking weirdo!
Oh my god, it is! Gene Warped Werewolf is just the final evolution of the guy. He's way more gross.
I called it.
No, like, the color scheme is the same. They've got the same weird scale thing on the top. Like, I mean, I'll say this. Gene Warped Werewolf came out... Let's see, when did he actually get printed? Strike of Neos? So he's older than this. So, like, that's a little odd that, like, his...
They made the previous step
first, yeah, and they took the previous step. Or maybe the idea is that it is the mass production version. But
I don't think so, because the way I look at this is like
has a better torso.
I think it's because it's like the full growth of it, but it's all. I have to describe this, but like it looks like his face bloomed.
Yeah, I know. Like he's got some real fucked up body horror shit. Like
he lost his snout.
He has a mask like growing over his face, but also now you can see both of his.
No, it's not growing.
Like, his
No, it's not
lips
growing
straight up.
because I think if you take the continuity idea of like from the guy to the right, it more looks like all the scales bloomed off his flesh. Like if they some like 80s to 90s sci-fi anime shit.
The face stuff definitely, but also like it does kind of look like it grew and seeped down like on the sides. Like that's like my muscle tissue. It's like it's expanding, but it's not doing that straight up because we know that this guy from his flavor text, this werewolf was given incalculable strength through horrific genetic manipulation. Its gentle nature was completely wiped out, and it now only lives to destroy.
I love how everyone else is noticing how fucked up his mouth is, because that looks like a mouth that you see in a shitty edit where someone's put their mouth over like a still image.
Yeah.
Also, I will say like this leftmost arm looks like it's angled the wrong way, but that might be just like the way it's positioned.
He is, a horrific genetic monstrosity, so...
Because it's like, because in my mind, it's like, left thing is like the super mutated version. I guess the one on the right is more of like, I guess just like the stable soldier version.
Put him back in the oven, he didn't come out right.
No, that's not... Sorry, I was checking something in my head. Our last of the original card sets, a card that will come back later, but isn't actually like that important.
Her
in the archetype. This is Nightwing Sorceress. She was
I know she gets
Blackwing
retrained.
Magician in the OCG. Yes, so this is a card they did a synchro retrain version of to when they added support to Assault Mode, which is an interesting reach. I was wondering about some levels because Nightwing Sorceress here is a level 3 Wind spellcaster. I was wondering if that would make it easier to summon Arcanite Magician, but no. I mean, if you have a level 4 tuner, yes, but those were pretty rare in 2009. Arcane Apprentice is a 2, so you'd need another level 2 non-tuner spellcaster to make that work, because Arcanite is a 7. But yeah, she's just, I mean, she's pretty cool. Like, she's like a goth wizard. Honestly, thinking about it, very Medea-esque.
Yeah.
Which is, it was 2009, so Fate had been out for several years by this point. But she's just kind of a generic, dark woman kind of design. Like, she's got mystical elf ears, but that doesn't really, like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Does that all the time with wizards.
She makes me feel like if Medea was a Strix.
I see it.
Sorry, but I was drinking water, so I don't know if that carried very well. But yeah,
It just
like
it just
she's
makes
got
it makes me think of Medea, but if she was like a Pathfinder Strix or something.
yeah, like it's pretty normal. No, I mean like she was a decent attempt at the time, in like Crimson Crisis, but like a lot of the other Assault Mode guys, didn't have like nearly any longevity. So her only effect is just a continuous effect. You can activate Assault Mode, activate the turn it's set. So, like, if you can get her on board, you can allow a turn 0 play of Assault Mode activate. That's pretty cool for 2009 Yu-Gi-Oh!, but obviously is very reliant on your summons and setup because she doesn't have any other intrinsic effects. That's why I think it's really cool that Konami went back to the well of her design when they designed a retrain to make this deck, like, more playable. We will talk about that in a little bit. But first, there was actually a middle wave of support. Literally 10 years later, Konami was like, oh yeah, people don't play Assault Mode anymore. So in Dark Neostorm, in 2019, Konami remembered that Assault Modes existed and gave us 2 new main deck monsters, well, 3 new main deck monsters, but 1 new Assault Mode only, 2 new spell traps, and then a couple of support boys, one of which includes the other guy you've all seen, which is Psy Reflector. But first, I mentioned it way earlier, we did add a new way to use Assault Mode. This is Assault Mode 0. And it
There he
shows
is.
Mr. Man, Mr. Generic Man, with another generic armor and generic sword. Even more generic.
Give it the generic guy because he's not the like the generic guy in like the fucking vest and cap.
Well,
It's
there
the
are different
Yu-Gi-Oh
generic
player.
guys. Like this is the guy who's the generic Yu-Gi-Oh duelist on Assault Mode Activate, who is
Yes.
He's the generic,
specifically, I
assault
think,
duelist.
I
You weren't
think
there for it, Axe, but
specifically
this is
he is a
what we
guy
called
from
So he's the-
5Ds.
So he's the generic assaulter.
Oh, okay,
David.
hold on.
His name is Buster.
Oh, the generic Buster.
Obviously.
Okay.
Yeah, he's Buster Man. He is the man of Buster, I should say. Calling him Buster Man makes him sound like a Mega Man boss. Anyway,
Buster. No, he's Buster hyphen man.
yes, thank you, Chad. Oh my God, it's the famous character, Duelist.
Duelist C.
Yeah, this guy is a generic adversary in a Yu-Gi-Oh GBA or DS game. Yes, who would play an Assault Mode deck? But this card is Assault Mode.
I would make a joke. I would make a joke that it's the fucking DK commander in his younger days, but that doesn't make actual sense. So moving on.
Listen, this is Fail Portrayal. What's a little, jokes that don't make sense among friends? We all crack a couple. But Assault Mode 0 is a quick play spell card that says, tribute one synchro monster, special summon an Assault Mode monster from your hand, whose name includes the tributed monster's name. This is treated as a special summon with Assault Mode Activate. So even in 19, they were like, we know how to make this work. During your main phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard, set an Assault Mode activate directly from your hand or deck. It can be activated this turn. You can only use each effect of 0 once per turn. This is phenomenal legacy support, and is part of why I think this deck works with its rejuvenation, and why it would have worked in 2019. So, Assault Mode 0 gives you a way to summon on turn 1 an Assault Mode that's in your hand. Obviously, that's not ideal, but if you have them in your hand, you can summon them. It's treated as an Assault Mode Activate summon. But also, if you just get this in your graveyard, you can just set Assault Mode Activate from your hand or deck and activate it this turn. So even if it's already in your hand, you can activate it and just banish this guy with, like, Foolish Burial Goods or something. Also, set from deck, which means, even in 2019, Ash Blossom proof. Because obviously that's the thing that Assault Beast is not. Like, Assault Beast is a card that will eat the enemy's Ash Blossom. This is phenomenal legacy support. Honestly, I think the only reason why this deck didn't take off in 2019 was they only added one new Assault Mode, and it was, spoilers, TG Halberd Cannon, who's already a fucking level 12 guy. So, like...
Oh, yeah, that's right.
The only good Assault Modes to make are, like, Stardust and maybe Hyper Psychic Blaster. Like, RDA's blow up the whole board effect is not as cool in 2019. So, like, I think they lacked some sauce. We also got a new Trap card, who has an amazing art here. Assault Reboot, or BUSTAH Reboot.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'll give it that.
This is Stardust Dragon Assault Mode and RDA Assault Mode fighting each other. And RDA is facing away from you, so you can't see his weird chest face.
Yay!
Also, Stardust is, like, not doing a pose again where, like, his face is in front of his knee. So, like, it's good. So, Assault Reboot is a normal trap card that says, tribute an Assault Mode monster, special summon an Assault Mode monster from your deck with a different name in defense position, ignoring its summoning conditions. So, this is your Book of the Law.
I'm sorry, it looks like they're about to get themselves, like, do the fucking, like, Kamen Rider handshake. That's what they're talking about. Like the Kamen Rider Forza handshake, you know?
I do believe I did mention this.
Good? I'm sorry. My mind went to Marvel vs. Capcom. That handshake.
I don't know that one, unfortunately. But is there
no,
somewhere?
Axe, Loth and I did joke about this a little earlier before you got in. Parts of this Assault Mode stuff are very Tokusatsu pilled. Like, it's...
I mean, I was listening to it. I listen, man. Okay, direct here. I had to fight my body. I was in a fight with my body, and then a shower, and then the thing holding my towel up fucking broke off the wall again.
Oh my god.
Hey Omega, I hate to say it, but both of your co-hosts today have had really awful mornings.
Yeah, I know.
Days before coming here.
No, this is why after work. My stomach was fighting me the entire day.
Like, That's a
Awesome.
whole.
So me doing
You guys are
Death
fighting
Watch.
for your life. But Lothan's posted, by the way, a famous GIF of
Oh yeah, that. It's cool,
Cyclops
but
and
it
Ryu
always
shaking
feels-
hands.
I never forgot that bit because it always just like, yeah, that's impressive for like, no, for like only like five.
But yeah, no.
frames.
So to recenter, Assault Reboot lets you swap your assault modes with a different assault mode. It is in defense mode, but you do actually get to switch between them. Also, you can banish this card from your graveyard, target any number of cards in your graveyard with different names that are either Assault Mode Activate or list Assault Mode Activate in their text, except Assault Reboot, shuffle them to the deck. You can only use each effect once per turn, so you can use them on both turns. So this is, again, a really good concept for 2019. The problem is that all the Assault Mode sucks. Like, this may be a better way to get Halberd Cannon than actually making Halberd Cannon, but, you know, it's one of that weird cases. But this is a really good effect. It lets you tribute an Assault Mode to go to your deck and get a different one. And then also, you can banish it to recycle all of your Assault Mode activates, all of your Assault Mode zeros, because they say Assault Mode Activate in them. You can recycle Assault Beast, you can recycle all your Assault Mode monsters, because they all say they must be summoned with Assault Mode Activate, and so on. Really good support. I wouldn't be shocked if you don't play, like, one of these in your modern Assault Mode deck, just in the hope that you can put it into the graveyard somehow to bounce all your guys back. Or maybe you play it, like, in your sideboard so you can set it up, because, like, that's a really good recovery effect.
You know, Axe, I forgot about Forze. I'm not gonna lie.
It's fair. I couldn't find. There was better gifts in the show, and I just couldn't find any.
Yes. The gifts, when they changed gift searching stuff, it kind of fucked things up.
They're decent handshake. But yeah, so the Assault Mode stuff's real cool. Go.
Yeah. Being able, as Omega said it, being able to just be like, okay, here's my Assault Mode, different one, does offer really good plays you can do, because, hey, that effect it had before is still there. If it blows up, and you've got that thing at the graveyard, just bring it out.
No, so I was going to bring that up. You can't do that because it's specifically on Destruction that it does that, and,
oh, no, I mean when the new thing blows up.
Oh, yes. Yeah, if you have the original in your graveyard, you can still summon them back. But I will say you don't get to summon them back when you tribute them for reboot, because it says tribute, not destroy. But yes, so now we're going to talk about some guys. First, again, the before picture, an old school 5Ds guy who's part of a whole thing that we've never done, and God help us if we ever have to get into fucking TG, because there's a million of those guys, and they do not have anything in common. They have no design sense, other than, I guess, because they're tech genius, they have tech bits glued to them.
You mean like how there's that TG, not Librarian, the other one, the other weird synchro tuner that's like a weird
Wonder Magician.
small elf lady?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's Wonder Magician, there's Hyper Librarian, there's Reciprocate Dragonfly. Those are all TG Synchro monsters. And then there's this guy, which is Halberd Cannon. So, like, yeah,
Gee, I wonder what his gimmick is.
They have, like, no rhyme or reason. Anyway, here's Halberd Cannon Assault Mode. So they did kind of add more armor to him, but it mostly just looks like this is a stage where, like, this is less like an action figure and then more like... So the guy on the left is an action figure or maybe a simple Gunpla kit. And then the Assault Mode is like the advanced Gunpla kit.
Is he doing a fucking, like, vector cannon?
Yeah, I think so. Like, the bit on his back is aimed forward, and he's plugged his halberd into it now.
And, like,
so
the extra, like... The extra chunky boots are there to snag him to the floor.
Anchor him to the floor, yeah. He's got his power cable plugged into his butt.
And parts of his weird shoulder blades have come out to, like, cooling vents.
Yeah. So, like, it makes sense, but it is, like, goofy and over the top. Again, I don't hate it. It's just a little dorky, but that's okay. I think, like we said, TGs are kind of supposed to be like that. They're called tech genius. They feel like an archetype that is very, like, inspired by, like, old school Japanese, like, cartoons and toys from probably, I would say, like the 70s and 80s.
Did they change the weird, like, chest piece thing?
They added some, like, exhaust fans, but now make it look like horns, but it's still kind of the same shape.
Okay,
Oh, wait, no, it's Loth. His new chest piece is definitely a face. It has eyes and a nose. He's got a bull head on his torso. We can't stop putting faces on torsos.
No, clearly what it is, it's like, he is that multiform thing. He wants to be like, oh, he's a transformer! He's gonna change it to a fucking cow! You can't see it, I put my hand on my heads. Wait, hands on my head. You know what I mean. I'm not a... What was it? Hecking...
You're doing the meme face, yes. But yeah, he would turn into like some kind of weird cyber bull.
But yeah, so... our
They do
boy
look
here...
like, oh my god, they do look fucking like early 2000s Transformers.
I could see that too. So... Yeah,
God, it doesn't act. The more I look at the board, it doesn't look good. Like the board looks actually just kind of bad. Even the glaive sucks.
Yeah.
Like it's so it's like
honestly,
super toyetic in
they
like a bad
retrained
way.
this guy a few years ago as TG Glaive Buster or Glaive Blaster. He looks way better. So you make Halberd Cannon by Delta Axel overtuning TG Blade Blaster to make Halberd Cannon. But this guy, like, how should I say this? I appreciate that they picked Halberd Cannon for this because Halberd Cannon is, like, one of the big synchro bosses of that phase of the show. Like, it is the big level 12, Delta Axel guy. So, like, that's cool. He's a pain in the ass to make, though, and so it's really weird for him to be in Assault mode. So the original TG Halberd Cannon is a level 12 Earth Synchro machine, 4K. It requires a Tuner Synchro and 2 or more non-Tuner Synchro monsters. That's why it's a Delta Over. It's a double Synchro, and you have to use a Synchro Tuner, and you have to have two non-Tuner materials. So, like, that's a real pain in the ass to summon.
Yeah.
TG Halberd Cannon says, must be synchro summoned, cannot be special summoned by other ways. Once per turn, during either player's turn, when a monster would be summoned, you can negate and destroy. You can just be like, nah, I'm not doing that. So he's like a solemn judgment or a solemn warning on legs. This card must be face up to activate its effect. When it's sent to the graveyard, from the field to the graveyard, you can target a TG in your graveyard, special summon it. So, like, a very strong card if you can get to him, but that means you have to make 3 synchro monsters and tune them together to make one big guy, who is then a once per turn summon negate, and then also if he's sent from the field to the graveyard, you can summon back a TG, which means presumably one of the materials used to make him. So, like, big, scary, but, like, back in the day, he was a real pain in the ass. And even in 2019, after they gave TG some legacy support, he's still a little tricky to get out. And like I said, they remade him a couple years ago into Glaive Blaster, who's another level 12, who looks better and is better. But we'll save that again for, like, a TG episode. I don't know if I will be able to get, like, anytime soon specifically get Dallas and Vesper scheduled. I feel like I should get a lot of people on for the TG episode just so that we could all just be like, oh my god, I can't believe this guy.
I feel like anyway, we just got to directly message them because I just don't know what they're doing at the time.
Yeah.
I don't know what Gwen's doing at the time. So.
I thought about, like, saying something, but I did see that Loth was on and that you said earlier that you were in, so I was like, we'll probably have a couple of people for this episode, so I'm not going to be, like, passive-aggressive about hosting. Sometimes I am just kind of like, hey, do we have the @Yugis, the @Yugi boys, the gang, muted?
Like, normally when you, like, give out the call to action, like, hey, is anyone here? I'm usually asleep, so.
I mean, yeah, I do usually send it a little earlier, but I saw that you were
Dallas
out
is,
and about.
I guess, doing. Dallas is weird because I feel like he has like the weirdest like mixed priorities of things, but
He's
I
also
also
got,
weird
like...
You also assume
full-time-
that even though Dallas tells you he is, like, busy, like, he's working and stuff.
sometimes it's fair. Just sometimes when I ask him that, he's also just playing XCOM.
He's probably the kind of guy who leaves his computer running.
He has talked about this, and it's like, yeah, like, he will, like, boot up, like, a mod shell or something, and, like, leave it on. And then, you know, switch it, or he will, like, remote access from like, open an app, like, on his phone, and it will save. But, like, I don't think he's actually playing most of the time. Also, sorry if I'm slightly distracted. We're completing the trifecta. My ceiling lights has become haunted. Oh, it's my ceiling. My whole ceiling fan is haunted. So it's like the light bulb is freaking out and the fan's not working. So it's like really distracting. Unfortunately, it's my only fucking light in this room. So my alternative is to do this stream in the dark with just my computer monitors, which I think is bad for my eyes. But it may be better for my eyes than if this thing keeps flickering, if I can't get it to, like, make sense. It's really weird. I just put new batteries in the remote, so it's not that. Completely fucked. It's just not starting at all. Alright. I have to do the stream in the dark now.
No.
Oh, your lights burn out.
Well, no, it's an LED, so I don't think it burned out. But it's like, Sorry, I'm trying to parse this. I'm trying not to be annoyed at you. But I said earlier, it's flickering. So, like, my question to you is, Axe, would you be able to operate normally with a flickering light that's, like, your only light source and it keeps, like, flickering on and off? Like,
You know, that's fair.
that's distracting to me, yes.
I try to have more than one light source in my room at all times, but that's hard. Sometimes when there's no natural light, there's no light in your ceiling.
Yeah, no, I think that's unusual. Most people don't. And I might be able to
I have a
dig
thing
up,
where
like,
on my light switch, my light switch
bedside
connects
light.
to a plug, so I connect it to a lamp. So I just have it turns my lamp on. I've angled up so it bounces off the entire room.
Isn't that real nice of you? I have one ceiling light. Because normally, we're trying not to be lit up because it's hot. And I don't know, maybe the fan's like, it's overheating. It's, located
I
at the
know,
top
but
of the
like
room.
it's good for eye strain to have more than one source of light, so your screen's the only light source, so it doesn't hurt your eyes more.
Well, my screens are not my... Well, now they're my only source of light because my ceiling fan is off. But they're not my only source of light because they normally, there's a light in the ceiling. I just don't have any backups because I don't usually need, like, a nightlight. Anyway,
This got some nice beer.
we don't need to get into this. We're just delaying things.
It's not.
Because
We're not
we
gonna
have more
pivot
cards to
this
do,
room.
and unfortunately, like I said, it's dark. So now we're
Yeah.
stuck here. And my ceiling fan is busted too, so it's like way hotter in here than it needs to be.
Damn.
But we're stuck here. I don't usually go for all this, but like I said, I would like to remind you, hey, you could support this channel. You could support me financially. There's buttons for that on the screen right now. Or you
make it
could
from
consider
being
going to
broke.
Patreon and
Donate.
like
Donate to the
support to the channel. You get to pick
uh,
fail portrayals and help keep me like fed and clothed and stuff, and like make it so I can afford to buy like apparently I need to buy a night table lamp so I can
Nightlight?
turn my ceiling fan off sometimes.
Just
or something.
just a desk lamp. Yeah, just a simple desk lamp.
Yeah, like that wasn't in my
reading
plan. I don't have one of those handy because I didn't need a desk lamp or a reading light on my bedside table. But apparently, I might. That's
donate
something I
to
gotta
avoid,
worry about later.
Donate to prevent the your local Omega from becoming a brokey.
Whoa, whoa,
I mean, that's already true.
Is that a slur? don't
I
know.
am entirely funded by, like, content stuff. So it's Patreon and YouTube money. And YouTube money's not always that great all the time. So, yeah, like this is technically my... I was going to say day job, but it's 9:15 at night. So it's my night job.
It's your weekly job.
It's my 9 to 5, but the other way. Anyway, Halberd Cannon Assault Mode is very large. Like, I think I see what they were going for by making him in Assault Mode, because now he's 45-45. I did mention earlier, but I will remind you, because it has been 2 hours since then, basically. Assault Modes are usually 2 levels higher. Halberd Cannon is already level 12, so Halberd Cannon Assault Mode is also level 12. Doesn't go any higher. It has 2 of the following
Has it not been a 13? I thought it was at least like a 13 or 2.
There are some, like, rank 13s, but there are no level 13 monsters. And I think even then, some of the 13s might say they count as. Like, I don't know if they actually show on card. You could technically fit 13 or 14 stars on here. It would just be a little... The image would be a little off. But anyway, to continue, it has 2 effects, of which you can only use once per turn. When your opponent would summon a monster, quick effect, negate the summon, then banish that monster and all special summon monster your opponent controls. When this card on the field is destroyed, target a TG Halberd Cannon in your graveyard, special summon it, ignoring its summoning conditions, because, I mentioned earlier, Halberd Cannon says that it can only be specialed by synchro summoning. So, like, you have to synchro it out. So, yeah, it has a once per turn effect. I don't know why they're bullet pointed, but they are. But it has effects to, run through these things and, how should I say this? Like, to do 2 of those effects once per turn. So, on the plus side, the effect where you negate a summon, way stronger now. Because, like, it's negate the summon, banish that monster, and then also banish all their special summoned. But the downside is that you have to summon... You have to have either a Halberd Cannon in rotation, or you summon this off of Assault Reboot. Because remember, Assault Reboot lets you go into a guy in defense mode. So, like, he's really good to summon with Assault Reboot. Now, we're into main deck little guys, who are little and guys. So this isn't the famous one. First, we have Assault Sentinel. Still a good card, but not as important as Psy Reflector. This guy's OCG name is Buster Sniper. Buster Sniper.
It is like the same vibes like the other assault creatures of like a Liefeldian beast world, a world of fucking like gene warped animals warriors.
I don't like him.
Like his gun looks like it has like a really bendy like neon tube the entire time.
Yeah, the gun is a little weird, but they're trying
It's
to
like
draw
a really
sci-fi
shitty. It's like a
guns.
really shitty version of a Tau Pulse rifle.
The armor's not terrible, though it does have like kind of hip windows, which is a little weird. And it's like the torn shirt is part of it, like that's part of the armor. But otherwise, yeah, it's like a lion guy with a big gun. Anyway, Assault Sentinel is still a pretty important card. It's another Earth Beast Warrior level 4. Level 4 is a good level for this because, level 4 tuner, level 4 non-tuner, that makes Stardust Dragon or RDA, which is good. You can trip, actually I should say, 1600 attack, so less than the other 2 guys, but, attack matters less in this deck, especially because the effect of Sentinel is you can tribute this card. Special summon one monster from your hand or deck that specifically lists Assault Mode activate in its text except Sentinel. You can't special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of this turn except synchros, so you get synchro locked. You can target one face-up monster you control. Reveal one synchro monster in your extra deck. If you do, the targeted monster's type and attribute become the same as the revealed monsters till the end of this turn. You can use each effect once per turn. So, yeah, Assault Sentinel is a great Band-Aid card for trying to make Assault Mode a much more playable deck because it lets you pretend that your monsters are, I don't know, spellcasters or psychics. It also tributes to summon any guy you need. Usually you're summoning Psi-Reflector. Psi-Reflector's the good one to summon. But then also, you can, technically you can substitute it for zombies, but you'd have to have Plague Spreader and Rotation and stuff. Each effect is once per turn, so you can use them multiple times. You could use Assault Sentinel to dub a different guy and then tribute them off to get Psi-Reflector and so on. Like, it's a very good one. Now, the third wave, which is relatively the most recent. Technically, there's still some more stuff that came a little later, because we're going to talk about the field spell. But they're from the past two sets. So we got a couple of stuff in Burst Protocol not too long ago, and we got a couple of things in Blaze Dominion. First, the field spell from Burst Protocol. Dual Evolution, Assault Zone, a.k.a. Dual Evolution, BUSTAH Zone.
BUSTAH Zone?
It's a retread of the other one.
Highway to the BUSTAH Zone. So this, is just basically, this is the prelude to Buster Reboot. This is, Stardust and RDA Assault Mode rising up out of the, Speed Duel Arena, the Duel Zone. But Assault Zone says, when this card is activated, add one monster that mentions Assault Mode activate from your deck or graveyard to your hand. Assault Mode monsters cannot be destroyed by battle or your opponent's card effects the turn they're special summoned. You can pay 2,000 LP. Once this turn, the synchro monster you would tribute to activate Assault Mode activate can be chosen from your extra deck instead, even if this card is left the field. You can use this effect of Assault Zone once per turn. You can only activate Assault Zone once per turn. Hey, it's 2026. Konami still remembered how to do the field spell that fixes everything. So, to recap.
As per is the trend.
Yes. To recap, this is the classic 3-step field spell. It has like a continuous effect, an activated effect, and then an on-activation effect. So, first effect, add any monster that mentions Assault Mode activate. So that is, Beast, Sentinel, Psi-Reflector. Actually, I forgot. I got to pull up for Psi-Reflector. I'm stupid. Let me go grab him. I got too excited. Also, it's not as distracting as the Furking Light, obviously, but I am, again, I'm doing the stream in the dark now, so, it's a little weird. It's a little weird,
Yeah.
guys. It's 9:30 at night, and, I'm sitting in front of just my monitors with my ceiling light off. So, it's not normal. But I'll leave Dual Zone on the screen here to remind you that we need to cover what, kind of talk about it. But let's talk about Psi-Reflector a little, too. A classic little psychic guy. I think he's technically like a proto Hyper Psychic Blaster, because you can see that he's a guy in like a weird bubble hood, but he's got the Psychic Blaster armor behind him. I thought he was sitting on a chair always, but no, he's standing in front of the machine that keeps the Hyper Psychic armor in a field. Also, I don't know, by the way, why they called him Psi-Reflector and not his full name, which is just Psychic Reflector. It's a little odd. But yeah, he's kind of a guy.
Every time I look at him, I'm just like, catch these hands.
But yeah, he's kind of doing a catch these hands thing. Psi-Reflector is a Dark Psychic Tuna, level 1 tuner. 400 attack, 300 defense. If this card's normaled or specialed, add an Assault Mode activate or a card that mentions it from your deck to your hand except Psi-Reflector. You can reveal an Assault Mode activate in your hand, then target one monster in your graveyard that mentions Psi-Reflector. special summon it. If you do, you can increase its level by up to 4. You can use each effect once per turn. So Sight Reflector was part of that 2019 wave I talked about. This card is crazy good. Basically, the way this works is if this is just your normal summon Sight Reflector. If you have Assault Beast in hand, pitch Assault Beast. Actually, no. On normal summon, add Assault Beast. Pitch Assault Beast. Add Assault Mode Activate. Reveal Assault Mode Activate. Summon Beast. Set its level to whatever the fuck you want. You can summon Sight Reflector. You can also do this with Sentinel. You can normal summon Sentinel, tribute it to summon Sight Reflector, etc. You can summon Sight Reflector with 1-for-1. It's an amazing card because it basically sets up your entire deck. It has synergy with your normal deck guys, namely, Beast and Sentinel, and some other guys that got added later. And all in all, it's just a crazy good card to add. I don't have much else to say about that, other than just it's insane. This guy's been out for over 5 years. He's from 2019. The 2019 support was so crazy tuned. That is, again, Assault Mode 0, Assault Reboot, Sentinel, and Reflector. And honestly, Halberd Cannon's pretty good too. It's just you don't have any other good Assault modes. They're all bad except for the original Stardust and maybe, like I said, back in the day, Psychic Blaster and RDA. And even then, by 2019, Psychic Blaster and RDA Assault mode are just kind of okay. They're just big guys. Doom Kaiser is weird. Colossal Fighter is weird. Okay, he decreases your opponent's attack, and he's a Foolish for Warriors, but you're not playing Warriors in your deck necessarily, unless you're binning Assault Mercenary. And Arcanite Magician is okay, but he's a spell counter card, so the deck is really hurt by its affectations.
They're okay.
Yeah. Anyway, to go back to talking about the field spell. Assault Zone, like I said, is a 3-step field spell. It's kind of a formula in Yu-Gi-Oh! These days. That's why we make the joke about the field spell that fixes everything. To have a field spell that's formatted like this. But basically, on activation, you add a monster that mentions Assault Mode Activate. So, it used to be the Assault Mode Engine combo was, you just have Sight Reflector in your hand, or you're playing, 1-for-1 or Sentinel or whatever. You get Sight Reflector. Summon Sight Reflector. Add Assault Beast. Bin Assault Beast. Set Assault Mode Activate. Assault Mode Activate. You reveal it to summon back Beast. Set Beast's level to anything. You can instantly make Stardust Dragon or RDA or whomever and be ready to go. So, that's pretty good. But now, you can start with your field spell, Assault Zone, search Sight Reflector, or search Sentinel, or search whoever. Then, also, you can make it so that if you would activate Assault Mode Activate, you can tribute a Synchro monster who you haven't summoned yet. This makes summoning Halberd Cannon a hell of a lot easier, but also it makes getting extra activations out of the way. Like I said, you can basically, it makes it a lot easier because you don't have to multi-synchro to set up multiple assault modes, basically. And that's real good. And then lastly, its middle effect, its protection effect, is only okay, but it's still a protection effect. It means that your opponent can't fuck with your monsters the turn they're summoned, including by battle. So, it makes it a lot trickier if you Assault Mode Activate on... If you go first, set Assault Mode Activate it on your opponent's turn before they can set up any board. That makes it trickier for them to remove that guy. Alternatively, if you are going second, which is not ideal in this deck, but is workable, it makes it so that your opponent can't just, run over your guys, negate, and destroy them. They can't be destroyed the turn they're special summoned. So, it makes a pretty good flow. They did not add a new way to do Assault Mode Activate, so we just added, the new one. But, next, I mentioned, this guy. Oh my god, sorry, I saw this guy blown up. This is very, it's not quite common because, like, it's incredibly over the top. Like, it's not practical to make a prop out of, but, like, it's... Sorry. I'll pull up the assault mode first because I grabbed it first and he just got me that. I'm talking about Crimson Blader assault mode. He's insane. Like, I looked at this guy and I had to just go, what?
What am I... Is that his hand reaching towards us? Like, what am I looking at?
He's got a lot of hands.
I can't pass this.
Also, I gotta check what's going on here. This guy has an edit? It shows me that there are different versions between Japanese and American, and I'm not sure what they are. Anyway, I'll pull up the original. This is the Japanese art, so if there is any edits to it, they're not there. But yeah, so the original is just... He's a bug swordsman. It's pretty normal, pretty easy. I don't know why he's a bug swordsman, but he's a bug swordsman. The second one is like... He's got arms on arms and hands on hands. Like...
It's Gilgameshing time.
Yeah. Like, I think he's got...
I now understand why, like, the actual retrain of Crimson Blader looks cooler.
Yeah, I mean, the original one is, like, normal.
Because, like, I look at... This is, like, not Crimson Blader, right? I sorry, I went away to, like,
no,
check
this
something.
this is Crimson Blader and then Assault Mode.
Okay. I now really like the one we did last week of Crimson Blader way better now.
Yeah, the Crimson Blader Dragon. I mean, that's... So,
That's
I
like, 'cause
mentioned
it's
this
like...
before, right? The
It
reason
actually
why
had,
that
like,
guy
mass to its
exists-
limbs.
The reason why that guy exists is that Jack Atlas did play Crimson Blader, but you can't summon Crimson Blader in a modern RDA deck because it's not a Dark Dragon synchro. So they made Crimson Blader also Exploder Dragonwing, and that's Crimson Blade Dragon, who is always treated, by the way, as Crimson Blader, so you can just use it instead of this.
Honestly, the way I look at this, it's like... It just makes you think of Mega Man X boss, or like just a Mega Man Z.
Yeah, it's kinda
Actually,
like
a
vaguely
Mega Man,
Animal
a Mega
Themed.
Man ZX boss. He's a ZX or a ZX Advent boss.
Definitely the second form with all the extra bits. But yeah, so the way I understand this is he's got quad arms. Like, he's either got double arm joints or he's just crossing over both his arms there. But he's also got shoulder arms.
I think it's like his pauldrons became arms.
So he's doing, like, arms on arms on arms.
I think it's more of, in assault mode, arms got attached to his pauldrons.
Yeah, and I think actually he's just, like, crossing over his left and right arm in a weird way that makes it look like they're
He
attached
is.
to the
He's
elbow.
he's just doing a crossover, but like, yeah.
It's weird. It's a weird one. Anyway,
I don't like it.
You don't have to.
yeah, it's a little bit of an extra pose. The design I don't hate. I just like hey, remember earlier I talked about like eye lines and stuff and being busy? Crimson Blader Assault Mode has that problem. Like your eye would be drawn to like his center of mass, but then his center of mass is he's like deliberately doing some weird optical illusion crisscross stuff, and it's like the lines are very muddled. It gets hard to pick out what's one arm, what's the other arm, what's his torso behind the arm, what's his cape behind his torso. Like, it is a little messy, it is a little busy, especially because he also has, like, speed lines and fire particle effects. Like, the normal one is just pretty normal, but it's okay. I mean, he's a weird stick bug guy, but, like, he at least is, like, sensical.
It hurts my eyes just looking at him.
Yeah. The original Crimson Blader, he did go kind of Ravana. Oh, the edit was they made his codpiece smaller. Well, also, sorry, Chad earlier said, oh, RDA Assault Mode's a decent going second tool, to wipe the board. That's already true because it's destroy all other monsters you control. So unless you're also like summoning multiple guys that you're worried about, you don't need to worry. But also, even then, if you do, you'll just, if he blows up your other assault modes, they just become their original synchro version, so you can still like push for game. Anyway,
Yeah.
The original Crimson Blader was a great little guy. He was such a weird guy who would show up all the time in certain brews of our Prog series because he's another generic 8 synchro. But unlike Stardust Dragon and RDA, he was a rare in Cosmo Blazer and not an ultra rare or secret rare.
Yep.
So he was a very accessible generic 8. He's 28-26. He is a Fire Warrior. And if this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, your opponent can't normal or special level 5 or higher monsters during their turn. Crimson Blader has been a really annoying guy in several Yu-Gi-Oh! Formats where you have access to Sync 8s, where you just attack over your opponent. They get locked out of summoning high-level monsters, and it completely kills their deck. Obviously, with the advent of Xyz and Lynx, that gets trickier because they don't have levels at all, but it can still impede your opponent's plays. So it's a pseudo floodgate guy who's like really tricky to get out there. The assault mode version is a Fire Warrior effect who's level 10, who is 33-31. And then its effect is your opponent can activate the effects of level 5 or higher monsters that are specifically special summoned from the extra deck. So it is a floodgate, but only for activated effects and only for extra deck monsters. So it kind of like keeps some of the vibe, but doesn't necessarily completely lock your opponent out of playing the game. Also, the insane thing, they gave it a hand effect. You can reveal this card in your hand, add an assault mode activate, or a card that mentions it from your deck to your hand. If you do, shuffle this card back. You can only use this effect once per turn. If it's destroyed, special summon a Crimson Blader from your graveyard.
That feels like a thing all of them should just have.
I mean, we mentioned this before you got here, but Assault Teleport is a really good spell card that lets you shuffle back a guy in hand to draw two. Like, so that was okay already. And it's searchable, obviously, with the modern Psychic support as a teleport spell. But Konami was definitely like, okay, if we're going to give them more assault modes to play, we need to give them something to do. So this guy shovels himself back. That's pretty good. He is a little bit of a floodgate. And as we mentioned on the show, with Crimson Blade Dragon is a level 7 Dark Dragon Synchro, who is always treated as Crimson Blader. And also, Crimson Blade Dragon lets you add a level 8 or higher monster that can be normal summoned or set from your deck or graveyard, either add it to your hand or special summon it. So this lets you reborn your RDA but negated, because that's a monster that can't be normal summoned or set in your graveyard, or it lets you add Crimson Blader Assault Mode to hand, which you could then immediately use its effect to reveal it, shuffle it back, add Assault Mode activate, so you can summon it out of deck. So, like, Crimson Blade Dragon is a way more accessible guy who has a much more relevant effect than old school Crimson Blader, but is always Crimson Blader, so it's Crimson Blader in your extra deck, on your field, and in your graveyard, so he synergizes really well with Assault Mode. And that was the very next set that Blade Dragon was released. That was in Blazing Dominion. So, Crimson Blader Assault Mode, good card. Like, again.
Yeah.
Oh, card.
A little
also,
funny.
Side note.
Yeah, go ahead.
I found out what Gwen's doing right now. She's doing SWOTOR with some of her streamer friends.
Yeah, I think actually,
Is that for spare?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's post Gwen.
I don't quite know names.
I don't actually know if we should be saying that, but we're small. We can get away with it. Yeah, I know. Visper streams and they do other stuff, so this may be just a day where the schedules don't work out. Anyway,
yeah, whatever. It's just that's what they were doing. Okay, whatever. It's not a big deal.
Don't give them shit because they have other things going on.
I wasn't. I was just like, oh, I know where they are now. There you go.
So our next guy is kind of like an oddball one to pull, but I think works because of I guess I would say kind of the period he's from. Like, it feels very appropriate, and also is a lot easier to set up because his level is lower. They also made an assault mode for Junk Warrior. So here's the original Junk Warrior. You've seen him before. We've done a Junk episode.
Yes,
I think we've done the full line. So we've done Junk, Synchron, etc. Synchro Warrior. So here's Junk Warrior Assault Mode. We're going back to our roots. We've just added some extra stuff to him. However, because this card was drawn in 2016, it doesn't look super awful. It's a little hard to say it looks good outright because some of the details are obscured by the fact that he has, huge aura punches now. But I think it looks good.
This is really funny to me because, like, it just makes me think about Symphogear, because the main girl in that one literally is a Junk Warrior reference and how her weapons work.
Mm-hmm. I think we've mentioned this before. We're talking about 5Ds.
Some clips and I'm like, yeah, that is just big golden.
It's the same person. It's why it's a bit of like why the synchro arc in Arc V is not good, because they had to go work on the 3rd season of Symphogear.
So, I feel like most people probably know what Junk Warrior does, but it's a little bit of a callback.
I need to go. I need to go find what I'm talking about.
Junk Warrior is a dark level 5 synchro that requires Junk Synchron, and then if it's synchro summoned, it gains the attack of all level 2 or lower monsters you currently control. So it's like it's a signature Yusei card. It was his original special boy before he got into Stardust. Like usually you have a couple of those guys. And he shows up occasionally. So that makes Junk Warrior Assault Mode a Dark Warrior 7 with 2,800 attack and 1,800 defense, which is pretty good. Junk Warrior Assault Mode gains 1,000 attack for each Assault Mode monster you control, and if it battles, any battle damage inflicted to your opponent is doubled. It is unaffected by your opponent's activated monster effects, and if it's destroyed, you can target a Junk Warrior in your graveyard, return it to the extra deck, then special summon it. This is treated as a synchro summon. So, because Junk Warrior only gains attack when it's synchro summoned, it would be pretty small. So they set it up so that you can try again. I don't know if you have a lot of level 2 or lower monsters on your board in Assault Mode decks, but it's a great thought for like resetting your effects that only activate on synchro summon. It also means that if you used Assault Zone to tribute Junk Warrior from your extra deck without playing Junk Synchron in this deck, you can still make Junk Warrior Assault Mode, and then if it gets destroyed, you can put Junk Warrior back from your graveyard to your extra deck and then synchro summon him out. Like we're very forward thinking and it's very strong.
Also, I just want to make the point of like, it is her arm, like her weapon is literally the same thing as the fucking Junk Warrior gauntlet.
Yes,
it is literally the same thing. Yeah.
I am not saying that they are different. I was wanted to mention that we have talked about this before, and yeah, you've brought up that some of the same staffers, like I think one of the 5Ds,
like the same designer, the same director, the same director, I think.
Yeah, like there's some staff overlap basically. But yeah, so like, I mean, I think the posing and the color shifting on Junk Warrior Assault Mode is pretty cool. The aura effect is all right, but it does obscure some of the details. But I think overall it's pretty good. And like anything that is a little silly is not Assault Mode's fault, because regular Junk Warrior is the one who has speed skates. He has inline skates built into his feet.
It's so funny seeing how he looks in the old art compared to the quote-unquote newer art, and just seeing how quote-unquote clean his face is.
Yes. Extra out there, extra shiny. Yeah,
there are proportions too, honestly.
So, no. Assault Mode's a good card. Like, it plays well with the new support. It adds a new guy, even if that guy's tricky. But it's a classic, so it's very, very stonks. We also got some new main deck monsters and a non-Assault Mode linked Synchro monster. So, sorry, I'm like, hello, game, copy, paste, internet. There it is. Weird, I guess we didn't copy Assault Lich correctly. Anyway, yeah, we got Assault Lich. So Assault Lich is clearly the tuner who's supposed to go into Doomkaiser. Except it can't actually go into Doomkaiser because he's not Plague Spreader Zombie. But still, they tried really hard to make it so you could play Doom Kaiser in this setup. And honestly, like, for a card that came out this year, I still like his retro effect, like with the skulls and like his look. It really does point out how goofy the skull armor that goes on Doom Kaiser is, because it's just chilling back there, menacingly.
Find me a vessel, my minion.
Yes, my master.
It is that weird thing in the back is just the Doom. It is the Doom Kaiser.
It's the Doom
skull
Kaiser
thing.
chest plate. Yeah, like it's the Buster mode of Doom Kaiser specifically. So it's like that's a little silly.
Oh wait. This Lich turns into Doom Kaiser.
Yeah, I mean, actually, I think that is the idea, because he's got the core inside. Because they're this is a tuner, but it's also a non-tuner.
Well, I think the bit is
Well, Doom Kaiser has like, don't talk about your mouth full. But Doom Kaiser's bit is like he has like wings.
I'm more thinking of the bit of, how do I put this? It's like, sorry.
Is he putting more food in his mouth?
No, I think he's subconscious about it.
No, okay. It's the Lich basically gathering all these corpses that basically like form around him, and oh my god, his torso is the weird thing in the bottom of the the torso pelvis, you know?
No, he's got the core that's in Doom Kaiser. I mean, it's also kind of in the chest piece of the skull back there, because like it still has his glowing eyes, so it's a little weird. But yeah, like, and what I was saying was that I don't know if it was deliberate at the time, but the extra sets of wings that Doom Kaiser has are kind of sickle or scythe shaped as well, so like it works out. So Assault Lich is a Dark Zombie tuner, level 4, 1500 attack, 0 defense. If this card you control be used as Synchro material, you can treat it as a non-tuner. So, like, he can be a level 4 tuner, which is very important in this deck. It really sets up all your level 8s. But also it can be a non-tuner, so you can still make Doom Kaiser. You'll use each of the following effects of Assault Lich once per turn. If it's normal or special summon a monster that mentions Assault Mode activate or one level 4 or lower zombie monster from your graveyard, aka Plague Spreader Zombie. Unless they made it so this guy also counts as Plague Spreader Zombie, you can't get around the fact that the Synchro version of Doom Kaiser requires Plague Spreader Zombie. Though you can, of course, use the ability of Assault Zone to send Doom Kaiser just straight to the graveyard. But yeah, if this card is mentioned as, or is sent as Synchro material, you can add one Assault Slash or one Assault Counter from your deck to your hand. That's right, they built the Searcher for the only other two good spell traps.
Yeah.
So no, this is another card that's
Huzzah.
super Kino in this deck. It's a second tuner, other than Psy Reflector. It is a level 4 tuner, which works very well, but it can also be a non-tuner, so you can just summon him off Psy Reflector and have him be the non-tuner. It lets you interact with Plague Spreader Zombie. And guess what? Since he's been unbanned, Plague Spreader Zombie is still a really good card that, like, lets you access zombie synchro monsters, so, like, you can play him anyway if you're playing Assault Mode. Like, that's not going to kill you. And he searches, like I said, he searches the other good trap cards. He searches Assault Slash or Assault Counter. So he, honestly, this probably gives you a reason to straight up play Assault Counter in your modern deck, because it's super searchable off Assault Lich. And I know people make fun these days of archetypal counter traps that are Omni Negates. Like, it was very required, now lots of decks don't have them. But when they are searchable, that's just another extra plane of interaction. And that's, since it's literally free, you know, you might as well play some copies. Cool Zombie. But yeah, Assault Lich is another great add-on to this. Gives you a second tuner, gives you some stuff to do. We also have... Sorry. This is like the second time I've like tried to copy out of my notepad, and it's not copying and pasting. Am I like hitting the wrong... Am I hitting the wrong keyboard shortcut in the dark? We're almost done. We're almost done. So,
I can't see my keys.
This next guy is Assault Sonic Warrior. Buster Sonic Warrior.
Omega, do you know how the thing where like your keyboard illuminates, you can't turn off your fucking keylord lights? Like I'm stuck with, I can't turn them off.
No, I have some. The streaming tower has an Amazon Basics keyboard. Because it was cheap.
Actually, you don't have the lovely keyboard I have, which has a fucking dial on it to just lower that down.
Mine has like setting numbers, but it's more just how frequency does it fucking do flash? Does it like fucking change colors and do flashing instead of like? I just eventually think
really?
I think I eventually adjust to block it out.
I think I could turn out the extra lights. I have like a control app for my gaming PC that has the light up keyboard and tower and stuff. Anyway,
That's nice, I guess.
So Sonic Warrior is a Yusei classic. It's a level 2 Wind Warrior that says if it's sent to the graveyard, all level 2s you control gain 500 attack. But it's a level 2, so you can like summon him off of Junk Synchron and shit. So they made him an assault mode, kind of. They made him Assault Sonic Warrior.
Yeah.
So, Assault Sonic Warrior is a Wind Warrior 2 with 1,000 attack and 0 defense that says, if you control Junk Warrior, Assault Mode activate, or a card that mentions either of those cards, you can special summon this card from your hand. If this card is normal or special, add one Synchron monster or one Assault Mode activate from your deck to your hand. If this card is sent to the graveyard as Synchro material, you can make all monsters you control gain 500 attack for the rest of this turn. You can use each effect once per turn. So this is similar to the, like we talked about how they added, what's-his-face, Crimson Blade Dragon, and they added cards that search, like, interact with Assault Mode in RDA. Sonic Warrior is meant to let you play the Assault Mode stuff in your Stardust Synchron deck. You know, basically
like,
gives you a bridge card.
Which is
it's
funny
just like,
because Space is already a premium in that fucking deck.
Kinda.
Like...
It just looks like Sonic Warrior with Junk Warrior's, like, scarf.
Yeah, I think that's the idea. They're pretty similar. But yeah, so, like, Loth, you're correct. You don't, like, yes, you could play Junk Warrior Assault Mode and Stardust Dragon Assault Mode in the deck very easily now, but Synchron decks are already, like, Junk decks are already jam full of cards. They have more support than you could shake a stick at. They got, like, another wave of this stuff recently already. Like, Assault Sonic Warrior just came out in Blazing Dominion, so, like, I get the idea is, like, oh yeah, we added a bunch of Junk support last year, we added a bunch of Crimson Dragon support a couple years ago, and we're adding more in Blazing Dominion. Those guys have Assault Modes. Let's try and make you able to put, like, a little Assault Mode package in those decks, so you can play their Assault Modes. It is still probably not worth it to run a pure build. That said, Assault Sonic Warrior can be special summoned if you have a card that mentions either of those, which includes, I believe, your field spell, because it says you can add a card that mentions Assault Mode activate. So, like, it's just a free special summon in your Synchro deck, and then if it's normal or special, you can add a Synchron or an Assault Mode activate. Like, it's just another searcher. It's not my favorite searcher in the deck, but it is a level 2, so you can set up a few things, and, it's not bad to have a few of your tuners and non-tuners in rotation. So, we also, in this wave of support, added a new Synchro monster that is not an Assault Mode. Axe brought it up earlier that Nightwing Sorceress had a retrain. It's her, Night-Winged Cleric, or just Night-Winged Priest in OCG.
All right, so she just got like a fucking job promotion, a la Dragon Quest.
Yeah, basically, you know, she got a Dragon Quest or Fire Emblem job promotion.
Or she got the Astro Jobstone.
It does kind of look like an Astrologian Astrolabe. But so, this card, Nightwing Cleric, is a level 8 Wind Spellcaster Synchro. She has 2,500 attack and defense. She is completely generic, any tuner and any non-tuners. If this card is special summoned, set an Assault Mode activate from your... or you can set an Assault Mode activate from your hand, deck, or graveyard. It can be activated this turn. Boom, donezo. This made, like... obviously, you can do a lot of funny haha combos. Nightwinged Cleric means that, like, you just get to any 8 synchro, which is incredibly easy in this deck that's made of 4s. Or, again, just Assault Beast, Psy Reflector, etc. You can make an 8 really easy. And then you can set Assault Mode activate. You can discard 1 card, add to your hand, or special summon 1 monster from your deck that mentions Assault Mode activate. You can't special summon this for this turn except synchro monsters. You can use each effect once per turn. Boom. So basically your combo now starts with, instead of just going into synchro, into Stardust, or RDA synchro or whatever, with like the Psy Reflector combo, etc., you go into Nightwing Cleric. Nightwing Cleric sets an Assault Mode from your deck. You discard a card, which could be another monster that mentions Assault Mode, to add a new guy and start all over. Like, that could be Psy Reflector, etc. You just reset your combo. And guess what? She mentions Assault Mode activate in her name, so, like, you can summon Assault Speed Warrior, etc. off of this. Like, yes, her hands were purple in the original, too. She has, like, weird purple claw hands. But, yeah, no. The deck is very solid. Oh, that's right. Sorry, I forgot about this completely. In addition to using 1-for-1, you can also use E-Telly to summon Psy Reflector. But yeah, like, it's a very strong synchro engine you can do, and now you have a reason to summon an 8 to actually get her out. And it sets up your whole play. It makes it so you can activate it this turn. Like, it's all very solid. We appreciate this. And that is not, though, where the engine ends, because technically I should have grabbed it with the same with the others, but I just didn't. So, you know, what do you want from me? I don't have an automatic machine to make the lists of monsters. Technically, we should have done the Crimson Blader like now, and then also done this next one and done Night World like before them. But we mentioned it. We're gonna do Red Dragon Nova Assault Mode, and I think I said last stream that we would not do that when we talked about it. You know, so we're just gonna grab him. That's right. This guy's not in Master Duel yet, so let us hunt for his card art.
Yep, there he is.
Yeah, that's Nova, and then our next one is, and he's going to be a little big, so give me a second.
I think when I was getting back into Yu-Gi-Oh, you guys introduced me to like Red Dragon Archfiend, and I made Nova, and you guys were like, this guy needs to go.
Yeah, I think you Nova'd us once, and we were just like...
in test games.
Damn.
Okay, so
if that guy gets summoned,
this is probably a weird stretch, but the thing on the right just feels like it's a Digimon armor an armor digivolution of the original Assault Mode.
I mean, yeah, I can see.
Well,
it.
you know, Red Nova does look like just like a bigger, badder RDA, and then so Red Nova Assault looks just kind of like RDA Assault, but bigger and badder. I am shocked, by the way.
Honestly,
I thought we were going
to
make more Digimon jokes tonight. I am very shocked we did not actually... We got all the way to the last guy.
Well, this guy looks like a Digimon.
Yes, everyone else has looked like a weirdo. This guy is the first one to look like a proper fucking Digimon. There's standards here that we must abide by.
Yes, sorry, I just had to respond to something in our Discord. I'm glad Ark has taken my comment of like clown shoes.
It is clown shoes.
Because he's been clown shoes. You can check out our Discord. That's a crazy. Oh, Krishnali has a Yoshi P facepalm emote. That's great. But that's a crazy score on.
Also,
front lines.
I guess I'll just say this, but it's like, I still remember this, but I'm never gonna undo Power Word Crease because that's still fucking. That's a great bit. Power Word Crease is so good.
He's gonna think about it. Yeah, no, I mean, so this. They didn't give Nightwing Cleric an Assault Mode. I'm like, that's next, right? Like in like 2 or 3 years when they remember assault mode again, they're gonna do like an assault mode version of her, right? Like that just is the natural evolution to speeding up the game. Like her assault mode is only gonna be 3k, and her effect will be like, you know, summon a bunch of guys that mention assault mode activate from your graveyard. Like, it won't be that good. It'll just kind of close the loop, you know?
No,
to the opposite.
you know
Powers crunch. Oh my god.
They're gonna eventually they're gonna do that, and then the spell or trap card that just says, hey, reveal this card or an assault mode or whatever from your hand, deck, or graveyard. Summon that thing. Just fucking
like, we just keep getting faster, stronger, harder.
Yeah.
Anyway, so if you don't know about the original RDA, Red Dragon Nova is the you know, double Axel synchro that kind of started this shit. That's 2 tuners plus RDA. It's got 3,500 attack and 3k defense, but it's actually 45 because it gains 500 attack for each tuner in your graveyard, of which minimum you have to use 2 to make him, and honestly, probably 3, though a lot of the Resonators summon themselves back these days. Can't be destroyed by your opponent's card effects, period. When your opponent's monster declares an attack, you can target the attacking monster, banish this card if you do, negate the attack, then if it was banished this turn by this effect, special summon him back. So he protects from battle, he's fucking huge, and he's really troublesome. Obviously, I think the retrain versions, like if you can get to Majestic Red, and then the other ones that are like more negate-y, are more dangerous, but that guy's still pretty annoying. So, Red Nova Dragon Assault Mode is a Dark Dragon 12, 4k, 3,500, can't be normal summoned or set, etc. When your opponent activates a card or effect, quick effect, banish this card you control until the end phase. Banish cards your opponent controls up to the number of tuners in your graveyard. When your opponent's monster declares an attack, you banish this card you control to the end phase, negate the attack, and then end the battle phase. If this card is destroyed, summon Red Nova Dragon from your graveyard. So, like, this guy is annoying as fuck. This is a great payoff to the deck because, like, he's not a negate. He's not an Omni-negate like Stardust Assault Mode. He is just really annoying.
Yes, he's just really annoying.
Like, when your opponent activates a card or effect, you banish him until the end phase, and then banish opponent's cards up to the number of tuners in your graveyard. So, like, he's gone. So if your opponent gets to build their board back after you do that, you're still in danger. But that's really annoying that you're gonna banish, like, up to 4 cards.
And is that, like, once per turn? Like, oh, hey,
no, but on
my next turn, I get to do it again.
Yeah, no, that's not once ever. It is actually not any kind of once per turn. I just think the game is assuming you can't summon 2 Red Dragon Nova Assault modes. Because he's banished until the end phase, so you can't, like, you can't do it again unless you can, like, bring him back from banishment.
Hey, dumb idea, because, hey, this was a card that was banned for good reason. Supreme King Starving Venom, who just says, hey, I choose a thing, copy that.
Oh my god, yeah, you could probably do some goofy stuff. But then also, its second effect expands on Nova's assault effect, or Nova's regular effect. So, like, when your opponent declares an attack anyway, you can banish him and then negate the attack and just straight up end the battle phase. Fuck you. Like, so if your opponent just tries to just go battle phase and run over this guy, they can't. They have to respond to him. But if you, like, try to give him targeted negation, right? Like, if he's already on the board and you try and, like, throw a negate on him, like spot negate him or pop him, your opponent can just go, nah, dodge that shit, banish like 3 or 4 guys. Fuck you. And then it comes back.
This is the kind of card, if you see someone with a Nova on the field and they use Assault Mode activate, you can definitely expect someone to possibly be close to flipping a table at locals.
And then guess what? If like you manage to negate him and go through all that stuff and he's not, like, negated for the rest of the turn, when you destroy this card, you still just get to summon back Red Dragon Nova, who is also just an annoying like, he's huge. He's huge, and he can, you know, negate attacks. Like, just such a great payoff.
So you have to literally just banish him and just to get rid of him. Or
Like, you
bounce
gotta
him,
banish
because
him,
fuck off.
or you have to, like I said, keep him negated. You have to have a summon negate, like, to stop the summon of Nova. I think you can't summon Nova back if it's not summoned properly, so, like, that is, at least I will say, a thing that you have to consider, which is, like, you... How to say? You, like... You can't just, you know, do this willy-nilly. Like, it won't reborn Red Nova if you made it off of the field spell, right? Like, if you tribute it from extra deck, then it wasn't summoned properly for you to special summon it back.
Yeah.
But because they added the, like, crossover, you know, it means that there is a payoff for you including this in, like, your Red Dragon deck. And you can still make it if you're playing a pure Assault Mode deck, because those cards are good. Like, it's a whole thing. So, it's very good. And now, we have one more to add, to remind you that they don't always forget. Now, this is also another card that is not even out yet in the TCG, so I'll have to grab if somebody's got a scan win. But first, you have to scroll through 9 million printings because you know, we're doing the before and after. So the before is this. I'm sorry for the jump scare.
Is it a white woman?
No, it's a black and red woman.
No, different kind of jump scare.
Oh. I'm gonna blow up.
I'm gonna blow up. So, yes, not out.
I sometimes don't think about how, like, literally, God, if Akiza in the show, she literally could, with her powers, she literally could just blow up an entire stadium with Black Rose Dragon. It exploding could kill, like, literally thousands of people.
If you don't let me... She pulls a fucking Kaiba. If you don't let me win this duel, I blow up everyone.
Technically could have done it.
So, Black Rose Dragon Assault Mode, the original Black Rose, pretty cool, very unique. You know, it's literally a dragon that's coming out of a rose petal.
That is a lot.
Very good.
That's a lot at once.
Black Rose Dragon is a little extra detail. It's got, like, more thorns that are kind of moving front to back.
It's giving me, like,
its
a slight
petals are now
headache.
armored.
It's like metal petals, yeah.
Yeah, like, it's got armored petals. I don't hate it. I think also this card art will probably look better in, like, real life. This is, again, the kind of, like...
Oh, yeah, it's probably better as a foil.
This is kind of a like, that's the Deviant art blow up. Here's a, like, photo scan of the actual card in Japanese, and, like, the reflection lines are a little, like, more subtle. Like, there's that kind of natural fading that occurs when you print with physical ink, whereas the lines, like, in the redraw are very sharp. And also there's something going on with they add a little extra eye draw to it. But no, both designs are pretty good.
Oh my god,
So,
I found it. All I had
the
to
comic?
do was type in Red Rose Dragon meme, and it was a second image.
Nice.
I mean, that's what it does.
So I'll... It's over-designed, but I actually kind of like this.
No,
It gives
I
out-
do like it. Like, I think it's neat. I do get what
It's
Axe is
reminding
saying
me
about
of that
hurting your
fucking-
eyes a little, because, like, we got a lot of, like, brights to darks color contrast.
Oh, thank you, manga man. Like, just thinking about a fucking Lilymon Digivolution into this. Yeah, that
We're out the
fucking-
Digimon in.
I can see that.
Honestly,
I mean,
Metal
hey,
Rose,
if-
Metal Rose,
If a
Metal
character
Rosemon.
turn into a fucking angel and then a dragon, a fucking Lilymon can turn into this.
Honestly, if they did like Metal Rosemon or like fucking Blackthorn Rosemon or something.
Zed did say he would have made more
It's-
words. If it, more
It's
Digimon
fun-
jokes if he was here earlier. But yeah, no.
It's
Also, yes. You brought up a great point earlier. Yeah, it's like the Nova Assault mode is like minimum 4 banish. You might have more tuners in there, but yeah. beautiful art for Black Rose Dragon Assault Mode. I'm like, it's one of those cards that I'm looking at that I'm like, I know that like Konami didn't know, or rather the anime production team, it wasn't actually Konami directly, but the team producing 5Ds didn't know what to do with Akiza, but like, that hasn't stopped Konami from, pretty regularly printing Rose Dragon support. Like, several of the Rose Dragon cards that were printed this decade have been on the ban list this decade. Like, that was a very strong synchro engine. Only a few years ago.
Plants has always been like the fifth. I can't say fifth because
also I should say this.
Ruin the word fifth, but like the sixth best deck in most formats.
Plant Synchro, which there is also relatively new Rose Dragon support for, but also the Rose Dragons were like a Dragon Synchro setup, too. So like they have both, and they can kind of weave back and forth them. So like they've had separate, very powerful synchro engines. I probably do not need to describe to anybody who is still in stream chat what Black Rose Dragon does, but to remind you of its stat line, it is a Fire Dragon Synchro, level 7, 2400 attack, 1800 defense. It is completely generic, and when it's Synchro summoned, you can destroy all cards on the field. But also, a bonus effect, normally you just summon it for the board wipe, but it does actually have an on-field effect. This was brought up in chat a second ago as well. Once per turn, you can banish a plant from your graveyard, target a defense position monster your opponent controls, change your face-up attack position, and its attack becomes 0 until the end of this turn. So, like, if you're actually
sometimes you summon this on an empty board.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, Black Rose actually has play in plant combo. It's just, it was a generic 7 synchro that it was just like, well, if I ever need to blow up my fucking opponent's board, or blow up the whole board. So that means that Black Rose Dragon Assault Mode is a Fire Dragon level 9 with 2900 attack and 2300 defense. Can't be normal summoned or set, etc. If this card is destroyed, you can special summon a Black Rose Dragon from your graveyard. First effect straight up. Like, just, if it's destroyed, you can summon back Black Rose Dragon.
The armor plating breaks off, and the real dragon's there again.
This is also, like, this specifically is not a once per turn effect if it's destroyed, that you can do that recycle. You can use each of the following effects of Black Rose Dragon Assault Mode once per turn. First of all, you can reveal this card in your hand, shuffle it in your deck. If you do, change the attack of one face-up monster on the field to 0.
Oh, fuck off. What?
What's that again? Sorry?
You can reveal this card in your hand, shuffle it into your deck. If you do, change the attack of one face-up monster on the field to 0. It's just a fucking hand trap.
That's fun.
I didn't hear fun. I didn't hear until the end of the turn in there.
No, get fucked.
No. That's forever. That's forever 0.
It is a soul mode. Get fucking micronized.
And then also, if this card is special summoned, or a monster is special summoned to your opponent's field, you can destroy all cards on the field. That's right, it still blows up everything. But it's now not just on special, it's also, like, when your opponent's special summons. So you can do this turn 1, you can make Black Rose Dragon, you can transpose Black Rose into Assault Mode, and then just wait.
You blow it up, and then it becomes Black Rose Dragon, you blow up again.
So
you kill things that are double protected.
I will say this. You can't do it that way because Black Rose Dragon is only destroys on Synchro Summon. This is actually important. And it doesn't do the Junk Warrior thing where it like puts it back in your extra deck and Synchro Summons it. However, like I said, that effect where it reborns Black Rose Dragon is not once per turn. So, like, you could have it blow up your opponent's board, blow up all your guys, and then if you can find a way to go back into, like, to play another Assault Mode activate through some other series of plays, you could summon it again and blow up your opponent's board. Assault Mode activate is a trap card.
We need Necro Assault or something. We need, like, Necrofusion, but for Assault Mode activate.
That'd be pretty good, like, from Graveyard. Or just, like, a monster that when it's... I think they already... Chat, double-check me on this. I've looked at a lot of monsters, and I have been very distracted by the thing with my ceiling fan. Was there a guy that when just sent to Graveyard, period, sets an Assault Mode activate? I don't think so. I think there's a couple ways to set Assault Mode activate, but not specifically on sent to Graveyard. I think there is stuff for, like, on as Synchro material. But, like, hypothetically, that's room, because this is just a card they're printing as the promo card for Valuable Book EX. So it's not in the TCG yet. They'll have to figure out what the import slot is for it, but I would guess probably in a main set or two. But like, there's still room for more support. That would be a great addition to be a guy that when sent to graveyard sets in assault mode, because that sets up, you know, even more plays of like your assault mode activate and gets around not only Ash Blossom but also more annoying cards that prevent you from adding cards to your hand, like, I don't know, Droll Lockbird.
That's not what I was talking about. I was talking about more of like a thing that like Miracle Fusions or Necro Fusions by like you assault activate using materials from your grave.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying, like, also, you could reset Assault Mode Activate by destroying your own monsters. Because, like I said, keep in mind, I should say, Black Rose Dragon Assault Mode and regular Black Rose are both destroy all cards on the field. So you don't have any back row anymore. So, like, even if you had a Necrofusion trap, you couldn't Assault Mode Activate with it. But you could do a thing where you, like... Because that is, like, the thing they don't have, right, is they have, you know, Tribute a Guy, Summon from Hand, Tribute a Guy, Summon from deck. You could set it up to return a Synchro monster from your graveyard to your extra deck, summon an Assault Mode in your graveyard. This counts as using Assault Mode Activate. The main thing is just that if you're blowing up your board with either Black Rose Dragon Vanilla or Black Rose Dragon Assault Mode, you don't have back row. So, like, you need to keep that in mind for talking about, like, traps and stuff. That said, there's still a lot of fun potential here. And I think, honestly, between the addition of cards like Lich and Nightwing Cleric, and then the previously really good Psy Reflector engine, and, like, you know, Assault Beast, etc., there's some really strong stuff here. I think, again, the main thing that was holding this deck back from the 2019 was... The only new assault mode they added was Halberd Cannon, and, like, he's really hard to summon legitimately, so you gotta go through, like, the reboot trap. And even then, that was pretty strong. But now, between Junk, Crimson Blader, you know, regular RDA Assault, Stardust Dragon Assault, Hyper Psychic Blaster, you know, because you can type fix with Sentinel, Red Nova Dragon Assault, and now Black Rose, like, Dragon Assault, you've got a very full selection of cards to play. You probably only play, like, one off of each, you know. You don't want too many bricks, though some of them do have shuffleback effects. But, like, you have a breadth of big monsters you can summon as kind of your bosses, and they can be pretty strong. Like, even Junk Warrior Assault has a pretty good protection effect in that he's just straight up unaffected by your opponent's monster effects. So, like, that's a pretty funny one. So, I think Assault Mode is really neat. I think it's very funny that, again, like, they've had some crazy good old-school cards. Beast is from 2009, Teleport's from 2009, right? They even had Counter, you know. You still have, like, various things going on that, like, work out. And... you know, you have a lot of good synergy. It allows you to retrain classic Synchro monsters that are very, very cool and neat that people like. So I think there's a lot going for it, and I am glad that they are continuing to dribble out support for it. Because, like I said, I played, you know, a Dragoonity deck with a little Assault Mode package. So, like, there's some good stuff going on there. And that is going to wrap up our stream for today. A nice full 3-ish hours.
A little longer than
Yeah, I
usual.
didn't think it would take that long, but we did.
We had some good back and forth, and we had to take a couple breaks in there. There were some weird side tangents, and, you know, everybody in the squad going through it. So it was a decent stream. Thanks for all for you for tuning in. There were, again, quite a few of you as well, and a pretty active chat. I just want to say, since I did mention the Patreon earlier, that is important because our next stream should be whatever won this current month's Patreon poll, which may not actually be over yet, or it might be. It runs for, like, most of the month, but I have to leave a couple of, like, days of gap so that I can, you know, depending on when the first Tuesday of the next month is, we can actually do the show. But if you support on Patreon for 5 and up, you can vote in the poll to pick one, so that'll be whatever next week is. And then after that, we will continue figuring shit out. Like I said, we've mentioned a couple of archetypes that we could actually do. We could cover TGs. We could cover sharks, you know, and other things. I'm trying to think.
Sharks feels like a better time.
RDA to talk about.
So,
like, I don't remember.
We've done all
I'm
the
not sure
Black
if it was
Rose.
mentioned when it came out, but I find it funny. I'm like, okay, let me
I don't
switch
actually
away
think
from
we've
Fairy
done
Tale, and then And then they added more fairy tale cards.
Yeah.
Because it's like, we could do Rose, and then I guess we could do... We already did a Morphtronics power tool, right?
Yeah. We've
did.
already done the Morphtronics.
I guess...
I'm pretty sure we've done it.
We can do Ancient Fairy / the Forest of Light.
They
So,
did
we could cover that
retry
already.
those guys. Keep that in my mind.
It's basically the Sarcophagus of Light, where it's all just a bunch of extraneous cards put together. But Forest of Light, essentially.
Yeah. Well, we can take a think about that. But yeah, we could do Rose. I'm double checking. No other videos named Rose. Besides just I named the Prague tournament episode, which was the cover set that had Black Rose Dragon on it, Kiss from a Black Rose. Good job, me. That was great.
Good title.
So the stream title for the future Rose Dragon and Rose Garden and Black Garden, because those are all kind of interrelated, will probably be a Black Rose by any other name. Because I am
Good.
schmoove like that. But yeah, so anyway, we're going to wrap up the stream. I just wanted to throw out that Patreon reminder because it is relevant, because our next episode will be the Patreon one. If you didn't already, check out yesterday's Okami stream. We went to Oni Island. That was cool. Also, check out our Wednesday upcoming stream where we'll be playing Final Fantasy XIV. I don't know what we're doing. It will probably be like an Alliance Raid run and maybe some other stuff. This might be a stream where also I just go to fucking Cosmic Exploration and level Culinarian.
There.
And do Culinarian quests.
And then other planets.
The next Cosmic Expo drops like next week, I think. So I need to make sure I'm caught up on my Oizix credits.
I should do that, but I just have some things I want to do instead.
I mean, here's the thing about Cosmic Expo. Like, you say, oh, I should do that. You really only need to like do individual worlds if you want the things you get specific credit drops for, like the specific wheel results, because there's like a mount and a minion on every fucking planet. But hypothetically, you could just grind that out or get them on the market board or wait for 10,000 of them to show up in our company chest. Like, the glamour sets are the universal Cosmic Exploration credits, so you can get those by just doing current content, which is like what I'm after because I like all the glamour sets they have for Cosmic credits. And yes, next week is indeed the next planet. So, like, there are quests and storylines involved, but you don't have to necessarily do them other than that you have to work on that planet to get the specific credits. It's just that, like, if you are leveling crafters or gatherers and you have access to Cosmic Expo, it is a really simple way to grind a lot of EXP out to also get rewards and level up your tools if you're interested in that. Personally, there's so fucking many cosmic tools that, like, doing them all at once would be like, actually progging them all at once would be a little nutty. You don't have enough fucking armory space for that. But yeah, it's a thing you can do. So, like I said, that may be the thing that I just do is, like, we do an Alliance Raid run, everybody's fucking dead inside because of some of the bosses in that fight, and then, like, I just go to I go to space and I cook space noodles and chill, and, like, occasionally take breaks to clear Culinarian quests. Because I'll actually say it. I'll spoil the joke. I have a personal quest. I need to get Culinarian to, like, level 80, I think, because that's where I can unlock the recipe for just normal served hot coffee, so that I can bomb Loth's in-game mailbox with coffee instead of mashed potatoes. Horse fiends.
Wait, where is it? Because Lucky was so kind enough to make me several size different stickers of the same thing.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, so, like, there, you know, we do stuff for friends. We do funny things. Anyway, check out 14 now, later, anytime. Check out the stream archive. We'll keep on keeping on. And keep your ears and eyes peeled for our next upload of the Deathwatch AP. You know, that's a different tabletop game thing we do. That's all of my cross promo, so thanks for hanging, gang. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for listening to us ramble.